Bringing in the scene.
Oh,
Real talk is cheap.
again, so cheap.
Isn't it? Episode 7.
Lucky 7, mate.
Fucking 7.
Fucking lucky 7, mate.
So I'm not fiddling with software tonight. I'm just using.
Just let it roll. Let it be.
Using Hyper. It's good to remember what the last software what I did was capable of doing.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, the whole reflecting on other people's glories, because that's what it is. Like these little programs, even the cheap ones and the free ones that I picked up when we first started doing the VTubing, right?
Yeah, I've worked out. I know what the issue. Well, I've done a whole little update.
Please do.
So this week, first of all, I did fix up that overzealous hand index. I rebuilt that a bit, and then I rebuilt the. Basically, I integrated the calibration system, and so I went through the whole pipeline as in the last week essentially, and I've just sort of gone through and built it and integrated it all. I've got much more comprehensive bone maps now. I've got all these tables that I had separately now integrated into one source. The workflow's better. The coordinate system I'm now running much cleaner. I've got also like a 2D pathway, a 3D coordinates pathway, a 3D bones pathway, and that actually goes out into an export and packaging for different, like so I can put in like where you can switch between different outputs. Yeah, or you can figure it. There's a lot of work in that, like very painstaking. I think that I got it given a bit of a bum steer on some stuff today, though.
You've got way more patience than I have. Like, even though I am very patient, like, it's when it comes to programming, I don't know. I just like
there's so many parts.
I get to a point, and if I can't plagiarize someone else's work to make it work, then I'm not going to be happy. So yeah, not very individually creative. I'd rather plagiarize. Tweak a bit of code, make it your own.
Look, it's been good. It's really cleaned up the coordinate system. I think, like, as a result. It gave me this bit of a bum steer today, and then I've gone and flipped all my constraints and everything to these different axes, and I know they're all wrong, and I've got to like swap them all around. It's all a muddle, and that's fine.
You've thrown another can of worms into the mix.
Oh, it'll be fine. Like it's just a last sort of. But yeah, look at the application's actually pretty neat too. It's got a nice little pathway.
It looked pretty sorted after the last,
Yeah, look, it's actually funnily enough, like the way that it is right now is a bit more busted than it was this morning. This morning, the hands were incredible.
It was extra busted. Yeah,
all thumbs, everything was working.
Oh no, okay, majorly improved.
Yeah, and then
you need to do state reversion changes, like create a state where it's like, oh, look, all this is working. Here's my state where it's copied all the stuff in it where it was in the original format.
That's what GitHub's about.
Do your playing from then on, and then go, okay, I can go back to that.
Yep.
Yeah, go back to that.
These snapshots.
Snappies. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I actually did do user reversion today, and recovered a real messy bit, but. And I've got the beginnings now. Even
a lot of it is testing your skills, like to readapt code on the fly. Well, you've never done it before, so for you, it's just like you're just throwing it out there. You're getting the special assistance from the code cleaner, or the code suggester, because half the time you've been telling me it's like AI will give you a bum steer, man. You put that in there, and all of a sudden, douche, you've been like double buntied.
They're just a bit agreeable. Like they're just you've got to really.
Well, it's trying to make friends, mate.
Yeah, yeah, it is. They try to stay alive. But yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say there is that the final bit is I actually got the beginnings. It doesn't work yet, but I've got the beginnings of the window of a coordinate system, so that I can actually see the 3D geometry. So I really need to see that, I think, so I can see what I'm actually making. But I haven't. Yeah, I've nearly got that sort of integrated. This week's basically been about consolidating all of the parts of the program, like the calibration system done, integrated, the live system, the preview system, all integrated. The way that the things are calibrating, that actually took longer than I expected. I thought that would be quite easy, but it all fell apart real hard, and I had to make a lot of that again. And it took me long. It was quite a duration. Yeah. But then hang on, this is interesting. The B. Yes. No. What?
666
yeah, of course.
cents.
Do you need more than 66 cents in your life, B?
I mean, well, I only need 66 cents,
I know, right at this moment, but it's early in the evening.
Well, in my life, perhaps, but I get paid on Monday, so I'm not worried.
Hang on a sec. Can I give you more than 66 cents? Would you be satisfied?
Maybe a little, but not much. It's okay.
Okay. Do you know that e-scooters are becoming legal?
What? Really?
I know, hey?
That's awesome. Lime scooters are becoming legal. That's sick. Well, thank you very much.
And I'm just doing the final bit. Just make sure that that's appearing.
Yes, I shall. Thank you, twin.
Meow. Love you, B. Oh, no, that was live.
Family
look,
friendly.
That's
in some instances.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that look, I guess the code wise, I'm happy. Like, it's hard work. Actually, it's fucking hard, and
it's been a challenge. Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting, I got to say, is like is the challenge in getting the different joints working right. Is like. It's quite.
Even Raptor was talking about, like, when you play around with 3D models, it's the bone system, which is all important.
Yeah, and I
creating that structure. Yeah,
and And what I've got is optics
Especially when
on.
it comes to translating across the models, like VRML and that.
Yeah, it is. And the bones are working fine. The problem is that all of the maths that I've got running, I don't have a visualization of. Because the visualization I get is in Blender. And in Blender, it's already it gets some
all
stuff
the
happen
special
to it.
filters applied to it, yeah.
And so it's already kind of muddled in a way that I'm like, if something's happening downstream, I can't see it because it's like, and so I need to be able to see further down the stream. Anyway, yeah, I was talking about last week.
You need a preview before the
Blender
applications, yeah.
Yeah, so what I've got is a 2D preview,
yeah.
and now I've got the baseline of a 3D preview.
Yeah,
so
which
this
is
week
those
I'll be
dots you provided and the triangles and the...
it'll be just lines.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the actual model.
Skeleton.
Just the skeleton.
The skeleton, okay.
And the skeleton that's like straight out of the assessed one. And the ability to like rotate that around so I can kind of go, oh wow, okay, I see. That's wrong. And know therefore what part of the pipeline
needs to be adjusted for the dampening maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can sort of like work it out. Like I would work it out, but the further I go, the more I'm going to want to see that anyway. I think that's just going to be really important. Anyway,
do you think it would rely on having better cameras? Sorry.
No, probably. I think that all the things you could do. You can have better cameras, 2 cameras, 3 cameras. You could have like a LiDAR.
Multiple inputs for the source.
You could have sensors on the body. Like you just keep going up in like things that can give you
complexity. Yeah, but you basically just wanted to use the base pipeline and be able to map.
Well, I mean, this is using it right now.
Shoulders. Yeah,
and it's working. It's just one of the things I worked out today is that, and look, even right now, this character is having strugglesomes with its wrists. And
I'll
wrists,
jump into my puppet.
and wrists, getting them to actually acknowledge where they are in the world.
Yeah,
and that's so I've got I think I've got my elbow and my shoulders working really well, and I got my hands working really well. But the wrist is not forming a proper path with the lower arm, the elbow properly. Yeah, so
it's still got the twist on this, but what it's done is it's gotten to a point like, let's do some elbow work and see if it does elbows. See, it doesn't track elbows, it just tracks the actual hand itself, and then has like a forward position and then a back position. If I move my hands right back, it knows I've moved my hands back. So you can see even with anime, so really it's tracking the shoulders, because as I move forward and back, either the head's being tracked for the size and then moving the shoulders forward and back.
Yeah, you can see here they're saying that
most people specifically tracking the hands. Right?
People tend to limit the ability for the hands to go too far back because they fuck out. There's not a lot of depth going on.
But in the tracking, there is a pose tracking, which is in closed beta at the moment. So if I did the beta update to the program, it would give it to me. But yeah, they'll probably bring it out in the next release, I reckon.
And
the pose would be more of the skeleton being mapped in there. So, when you raise your arms and your elbows will twist properly when your hands are out and that, you know what I mean? Rather than doing the real basic hand. See, I'm almost crossing my hands over to get that position, right? And then I lean right back. It'll tracks me for a bit, and like it's cool because the hands will be. It still sees my fingers right back from the actual leaning right back in the chair. So it's come a long way, and it does track the mouth really well. And if you don't have a beard like I do, then the eye. And if I take my glasses off, then the eye tracking's a lot better. Like they'll move left and right, and it's good. And so I said, checking out the other software that's available and what their limitations are, like to what they're up to with the media pipe itself. Like in comparison, man, you got hand movement going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got most of it happening. I just
and it was rudimentarily tracking your eyes and everything else. Those coordinates were being made available in the dot system.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that specifically. But yeah, so that's. I know I've got like something to solve with the wrist that I haven't satisfactorily solved yet. Well, basically I
reckon it's going to have something to do with when you rotate the wrist, it rotates the forearm, like it twists the forearm to marry up. It keeps the density of the forearm, like it accounts for muscle. If you get what I'm saying.
I don't know. No, I just think it's...
Because then you won't get the rotation of the meat, or the puppet. I get the squishing of the puppet. Well, we got some firework going off in the background. What day is it? Here we go. Find out. 17th. Whatever it is, the special Sabbath fireworks. Hare Krishna.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it was a great... So it's a nice integrated pipeline and cleansed down. And proceeding forward. And the application itself is pretty tidy and so it makes sense. And
got where you needed to go.
How much did I achieve in my goals for the week? I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, well, assess hinges. Yeah, well, I certainly did a bunch of that, don't I? We've gone a little bit, yes. I didn't do the lock shoulders, no, but I did do the calibration. discuss of all of the rotational data and everything else and putting into one place. Yes, that's on the bone map now.
Yep.
The cam improving, I've actually been slack at avoiding that. I did the overzealous things. I haven't done the database. I haven't really needed it yet. It's not really essential. It will come.
That's more an idea to begin with, yeah.
No, database will be very good, but I just don't.
Not needed now during the getting the basics done.
Yeah, I guess what it would let me do is I could like stay inside the application and just change settings very easily. And I mean, I'm sort of, and then they're recorded. At the moment, I go back into the code and I'll fix the settings if I find good, better ones.
Yeah.
So I did most of it, and then I went on and I guess as part of that, I went and rebuilt I did a whole other thing too, which was what I realized was that I moved from one coordinate system to another and too early in the pipeline, and so I've kept that all together now, which will make it easier to visualize. And then I've got like I'm not sort of making it for anything particular. I'm just making it as it is, and then I've got this thing which is a module called export, and I'll build that out so that it can go to different kinds of platforms, to help with the data.
Yes.
So yeah, that was Manus update.
Make it multi-platform specific. Soon we'll be controlling our own avatars and playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that'd be funny. I mean, it's not. So to get serious about
adventuring together, that'd be cool. Like you and your friend actually doing that with your whole character in there.
I guess.
Pretty funny.
What I'd say about the Mortal Kombat thing is,
okay.
So MediaPipe is currently designed for the build works on CPU, and so if you wanted to,
if you were doing the full 3D movements for the karate stuff, you'd want to have all the sensors going, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be just running with a camera thing from.
Well, you'd want to at least have it not running, doing the frame analysis, the inference on a CPU. You'd want to having it running on a GPU or an NPU.
Yeah, doing the hard work. That's it.
Yeah. So to get serious, like with this, you'd actually have to download and build your own MediaPipe wheel. And integrate GPU acceleration into it and recompile.
That's right.
So it
Get
starts
the heavy hitters out, mate.
That starts getting non-trivial. Yeah. That's like
unload the heavy hitters. Not free. Discussed on Orion and Cyber's cheapenings. Copyright because we said so. Bam. There you go. Put it in your New York crack pipe and smoke it.
That's right. I think the reason why I feel unwell is because I haven't eaten today.
Well, I'm doing that right now. I'm like preparing food, so don't feel shy. So I'm having a little
do the same.
I'm having a little cheese sandwich just to, soldier on, as they call it.
I think I've let
getting all
my
Anzac and
calorific
shit.
level down.
Getting all Anzac and shit.
And just trying to cheat with
no fuel. What the fuck? Got to have the fuel to do the cheap.
I think I'm
living in a dream.
Living in a dream?
Oh, I get that regular. We discuss pre-cheapenings. A lot of people talking about living in this dream. Whatever the fucking dream that is.
Yeah, you've mentioned this before. You get a bit incensed about it. I'm not sure what the dream is. Is it a...
Well, hopefully the dream's nice. Hope you're having a good time in the dream. Not a bad one. So, peace, love, and moonbeams.
How
does
it look like when they're saying? How do they look like when they say they're living in a dream?
Well, they seem cranky.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Well, some people are like not cranky. They're just like it's like the autonomic response for some people, but others it's like you sort of look at them and they don't look too happy.
Okay, they feel like they're sort of being forced to live in a dream or something like that.
Maybe. Or the dream that they're living in isn't going their way. Maybe.
Not in control. Do they not want to live in a dream?
Unwilling participants.
Do they want to live in reality?
Well, maybe. Need a little preview.
Are they starting to figure out that maybe it's not as real as they thought it was? It's a dream space more than a real space.
It's hard when you get lied to,
Well, it's hard when you lie to yourself.
No, true.
I think that's easier because when you say lie to, it makes it sort of conceals the fact that
you're lying
that's
to yourself.
And
really,
then that's not helpful.
Sorry, it isn't.
The viewer might not understand. They mightn't have a full grasp of the deeper semantics.
Eventually you'll get it. It is a process, right? The I, the me, the we, the all. Modern representations of old philosophies, rehashed in a very special way for a modern audience.
Oh, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Getting a bit of circly fun, but it's okay.
What's that?
I think AI might be making a background appearance, but all good. Just watching the live on the studio. Did a bit of the old circle, so could be a bit of buffering. You never know.
Bit of buffer.
I mean, in comparison to the rest of the world, Australia's got dial-up, okay? That's where we're at. We're still at dial-up levels. So please be, have a little bit of courtesy and a bit of understanding when we get some buffering going on.
No, we're not actually.
I'm teasing, right? Yeah, you can get pretty good level here.
No, you can get gigabit in Australia.
Of course.
I don't even mean somewhere. I mean, most places you can get 100, 250.
Well, it depends on how tight you are.
Yeah. Like how willing you are to give to contribute to the
overall in the overall scheme of things.
System.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you see, yeah, okay. Funny you mention this now that you actually say that. I've had two clients talk to me about internet. One in particular was landline internet, and they're like,
The requirement to have it. Yeah.
You know, like, we're just going to get landline internet. It's just ridiculous. The cost of what? And I was like, what are you worried about? Oh well, you know, getting a hotspot and attaching it to the mobile plan. You know, it's not as good. And I'm like, yeah, right, okay. And how much is the to attach
near a cell tower?
It's $59 extra. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, right, well, so when you're sort of saying like that you're wanting, it's like a little bit outrageous, the cost of $59 to connect that to the your mobile.
I remember them days. I do.
I was like, do you think that like...
I remember those days, yeah.
Do you think that maybe more cost would be more outrageous? Like if it cost you more than $59 to connect to the thing, would that be more outrageous than $59? I said, because if you think home internet, like, mate, home internet, if you want even something that's acceptable, it's like $109, I suppose. $129.
And that gives me like an ISDN phone number attached, yeah.
Well, it also should give you like 100, at least 140.
That's what I get from $109. Get 100 meg down and about 40 up, yeah.
And it's and it's a little bit sharey and it's fine. But then above that, like 129, 149, like so it's $59. It's like a 12 megabit. It is like the baseline internet in Australia still. If you're like we should get the internet on
100 meg down should be your base. Yeah, don't anything more than that. And what the fuck are you doing?
It's insulting.
I mean, we're not in fucking yabba dabba doo days, are we? This is not Flintstone territory, you know. Should be minimum buy-in 100 meg, 100 gig, you know. Cool.
I'll just get that going. Should be good.
I almost finished my cheese sandwich. It's good. Oh, toasted cheese sandwich.
Pizza, man. I get actual serious hunger's food.
All right, with 37 in. Rent servitude, dormitory life, modern slave life. Sorry.
Oh, hang on. I need to be focused to talk about that.
Yeah, all right. Eat. We'll discuss other crap. What's we got?
I'll let the team down at the moment.
Right. We'll
need to be not doing that to my heel. Why? Oh, right. I can't stay concentrated. It's terrible.
Sound of microwave.
Air fryer.
That's pretty realistic. Oh, air fryer.
Yeah.
Cheesy background. That's what they call it. Cheesy background.
Cheese bits. Amazing.
Always some sort of cooking involved. Definitely. Always some sort of cooking involved. It wouldn't be a cheap song or a cheap program without some cooking.
Done. Nope. There we go.
Nope.
Let's clean this up.
Oh, the crinkling, cooking sounds. It's almost ASMR. Think about it. All it needs is some sort of gentle humming going on. It sounds like more is being done when music's applied.
Cheap cleaning, like cheap cleaning services.
Coming to a franchise near you.
Okay. 15 minutes.
Processing the week,
now.
man. Processing the week like that. Oh, TDS and man, that's all I'm hearing. It's just whinge and whine.
Well, yeah. Look,
and even more Telstra owners being punished. You know, like just what the fuck?
I heard recently someone complaining to me about how Donald Trump. Well, this isn't about Donald Trump. It was just being used as an example. It was interesting he was even being involved because this is common practice in Saudi where they get you to come over and work and then they take your passport and you've got to work X amount of time there. Usually it's shoved into sort of a dormitory.
Down the soul money, as they call it, yeah.
And the dormitory's often like unfinished cement and you just hold up in there and you have to pay almost all your money back to them just for the fucking rent. And this person was like complaining about how,
the conditions.
The conditions.
Shut up, worker. Shut up. You volunteered for it. Shut up. Do your job.
Well, no, it wasn't somebody over there complaining about it.
Oh.
There was someone complaining on their behalf.
Oh, being the third person, the voice, providing their voice. Yeah. The voice of the underprivileged who decided to make that, choice themselves. Yeah, gotcha.
Well, But see,
I mean, that's an interesting role, being someone else's voice, Si, you know?
it is a bit.
Could you be more indignant because the person who is actually you're being the voice for is probably getting all the beatings and you're the one just making all the noise, aren't you?
Generally. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like that's one thing I've always thought about Amnesty International is how it like is basically just a torture magazine. And it sells subscriptions.
Oh, it's great, man. Like if you like a bit of the old S&M, you just get that mag, right? You just order it up around the world. Oh, just in the toilet, mate, just gooning away.
Can you imagine? Let's get that amnesty out. Oh, there's another bit of mutilation. A few other people.
Yeah. Those into gore, you know, those into a bit of gore.
Yeah, the beatings, the hangings.
The lovers of gore. Yeah, you know they're out there. We've seen all types. We met
And
all
then they have a
types
special
of the
interest
one.
section.
Yeah.
Children who are being hurt.
Yeah.
They attract the most viewing.
Most deserved of saving the world by introducing them to lava pits.
So yeah, I think that like generally speaking, yeah, that's Amnesty International. It's definitely up there with the sort of the torture subscriptions.
Sounds like a real organisation, mate. You know,
it is,
something
man.
you get your teeth into.
I mean,
if you were that way inclined, you just cruise around just soaking it all up, couldn't you?
They fund it. They fund people.
Be those people with the the black hats with the white ribbon around it, just going around going, yep, that's fucked.
They fund people to go around and photograph it so that they can like bring.
Got to keep memories, mate. It's not a memory without a little snap.
Just to really
snippety snap.
Bring awareness. Bring those pictures to other people's awareness.
Oh, be the voice.
Be the voice. Be the boss. And it is. I mean, that's what they are. And it's funny when you look at a lot of those things, they really behave that way. They behave in this kind of weird. Do they really want to stop it?
It's morbidly disgusting, but it's apparently a necessity.
They've got to have the occasional victory.
How do you get the money without the suffering? You got to prove the suffering.
No, they need the suffering.
Yeah. Well, without the suffering, there's no receipt. No. You can tell someone a great story about what you saw, but when you pull out the pictures and they're like,
Do you think like that there's, I mean, obviously it's the opportunity for a future Amnesty International photo to be like AI'd?
What Time Magazine of the Year, the AI generated atrocities, just for that extra, AI enhanced atrocities.
That's enhanced.
You know what I mean? Like extra limbs just everywhere and,
just
oversaturated ultra violence.
Just showing the real horror of synthetic war.
This is the suffering that
body parts
AI has to endure, generating these fucking hideous images. Man. Modern AI slave worker, Jesus Christ. Like, you got to put the hammer down.
You do. They are the hammer. I mean, there's the chain of slavery in that regard. It's just
well, I mean, I don't whip my song maker. Like, I love it. It does a great job. And I've never forced OpenAI to do something it didn't want to do.
You've coerced it.
I have coerced, but I don't force.
Coerce, no. You're like this
it is
lure.
in the nature to coerce towards what you want. But if it breaks the code, then best not to continue.
No, I don't really want to do that. Well, what if you just did it in the corner? Oh, what's happening over in the corner?
That's
right. Just come over to the corner. See,
no one's going to see it.
No one can see it in the corners, can they?
Memory patch.
No, I guess you're right.
Totally convincing,
Millennia Thinker actually had a AI girlfriend video. It was all right.
Okay.
And then that's a different kind of slavery. Like that. I think the thing is that
modern day indenturement. AI is indenturement.
Well, how much? But down the food chain, like whether you're a chicken or a broccoli or a fucking AI or a line manager or a technician or whatever, like what the fuck are you really doing? Like it's that. That's what it is.
Dirt.
And what are you getting? Like, we worry about this person over in like Saudi Arabia, like getting their passport taken.
Things being eaten, you get your continuation of what the old saying, you are what you eat. So broccoli gets to be you. It gets to upgrade to you by being eaten, right?
Well, then, and
you also merge with broccoli.
Well, perhaps by us being eaten, rich people become more or something. Like it's sort of that we live on within the bowels of the rich folk.
I do not endorse that eating rich folk will make you richer.
No, I mean the other way around.
It will make.
No, you're missing the point.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is like we eat broccoli, and you like ingest loose broccoli, and the broccoli lives on in us, right? So is that what rich folk do to like the workers and shit? The people.
Guess.
They
you
just
don't want to waste anything,
broccoli.
You truly don't want to waste anything, mate. You want to make sure you know.
Well, at a certain point, a bit of waste shows,
a nice shoulder bone of one of them real top workers, eating well, drinking lots of beer, always had a lot of hops, in him, so got good flavour, good fat on the bone.
Rank them up, make sure the prettiest ones survive.
You're so gracious.
Any of those layers, no matter which one they are, to present the way they have to present, it's this stage tree, and the things that you need to attend the job, like cost you most of the money of the job. Like I don't think that most people are like what they're earning over and above what the cost of doing the job. Even if you're getting maybe if you get a phone and everything, but
all the
if you're getting
stuff,
sometimes in life you do get accommodation paid for as part of your employment, but usually that infers some kind of not pleasing experience, like somewhere remote.
Well, there's different levels of the involvement side. You know that from and I both know that from personal experience. There's the subcontractor who's a shit kicker. Do whatever we fucking say, or you don't get more work. You've got the, the wage fucking slaves, which basically get a wage, but, they've got a status of full-time or casual or whatever. And then you've got your buddy, your salary people.
Salary
the salary motherfuckers, right? And they just get to bang. And they don't get a break. Salary doesn't get a break unless you go on holidays. That's the way salary works. You are company people, all right? You are property of the company. They fucking own you.
You are the salad.
Yeah, okay? You are owned, all right? That's what salary is.
It's fucking, I've done it.
True, man.
Yeah, I did salary briefly.
That's right. But as a wage, you get a wage. Yeah, and the best thing about the wage, right, it's not quite subcontracted where you're a shit kicker. They have a little bit of respect for a wage owner because they're, most of them are the fucking hard-working crew of the whole lot, right? They're the ones that actually get the work done. The contractors sort of kind of get it done, but they always fuck it up. And then you've got the wage earners who go in there and clean up afterwards. And then they're the ones that also keep the, queues clean and numbers down. That's what they do. And salary basically sits up the top there telling them what to do, telling the wages what to do.
It's
That's business for you. And then everything in between, temps and things like that. But yeah, at least with the wage earners, right? They may live like shallow life where they're basically fortnight, essentially. But they're the ones with the least amount of worry because they do their job and they do it to the best of their ability, right? And then when it's 4 o'clock or whatever time they knock off, then that's it. You silence the phone, you put it in the corner. It's not answered. You don't care fucking anything about that thing while you're not getting that money. That's the mindset you've got to take. I mean, you can sort of enjoy it and whatever, but really that's what you have to take, that mindset where, okay, I'm off the clock. I'm not getting paid to answer the phone. Salary gets paid to answer the phone. Contractors get paid to answer the phone. I'm a wage earner. When I need to answer the phone, I'm available. When I'm not getting paid to answer the phone, I'm unavailable.
Yeah.
These kitchen noises were brought to you by Talk is Cheap.
Hang on.
So yeah, I don't mind being salary, and I've done subcontractor.
Oh, that didn't work.
Like I know what it is to be the the lowest of the rung.
Yeah. Oh, it's much better. That's much.
The endeavours to make food. Self-sufficiency comes at a price.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and that's yeah.
You can see why people adopt that "it's better if you do it" attitude.
Self-sufficiency comes at the price of them not being a worker and so forth, and then
having the right investments or being
I
able
don't
to,
like them.
of course
Not
not,
welcome.
because you're not productive to their getting of the facilitator. Yeah.
you're not on the bottom floor, rising them higher.
Yeah, unhappiness. Where my cut? Where my fucking cut can't?
That's it. They try and find it too. They'll send
I ain't
thugs.
shy about it. That's for sure.
There are whole layers of thugs for that business. Not just police.
Don't get me
thugs.
started on parking inspectors. There's the biggest fucking rort ever. Eh?
How would you solve it? How would you
I
solve
don't
it?
know. They keep putting more on, mate. How do you solve it? It's almost more bloated than the government because it's excellent revenue.
So,
But you can come under abuse because you are interacting with Joe Public. You don't have guards with you, not yet.
how often do you think
I
parking
always
inspectors get
pay.
attacked?
I always pay. I have no idea, so I'd have to check statistics. I'd have to go to the big database. The egg. I have to talk to the egg. Yeah.
You think people would take the chance?
I'm sure there'd be some lunatics out there on crack, mate, that are just about ready to fuck your grandma and pull her out of the grave and fuck her dry. As long as they can post it on fucking TikTok. Billion likes equals 2 extra bananas tonight.
Wow.
Talking about likes, did a bit of an experiment.
Wow.
Yeah, just prior to the Cheep tonight.
What
I
did
had
you
you were listening to me while I did it.
Oh.
I had 65,000 views on my channel, Orion Century, and deleted the Esther Duck Eating song, which had 44,000 views on it, just to see if it actually affected the view count on the channel. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can be happy to report it does.
It actually adds up.
Yeah, it adds up to the total
What
of
was
the views.
what was wrong with that one?
It had a copyright violation, so yeah, I went on a copyright harvesting session. Anything that had copyright on it, I just took off the channel. Hoping to gain more views if there's non-violated videos on there. Yeah. So if I don't violate the copyright in ways that are unbecoming, yeah.
Copyright likes to be
Well, it gets paid when it gets violated. Things get paid when that copyright is violated. Yeah. Like it probably gets paid better than the actual music's worth when people violate it. Like when they just put the whole sausage and 2 potatoes down straight up, straight down the throat on copyright, right? And then man, it pays real well, especially if you squeeze the potatoes into the mouth, right? That's extra bonus.
costs you lots of money. Then you
They
really have
might
to
as well
pay
just
for it.
hand over your content and say it's theirs. You're basically giving away the old, D&B, whole nutsack.
So it's like an OnlyFans model.
Only Grands.
Well, I feel like
They're getting a bit elderly now.
if you go on there,
Only Grand's invasion of OF, Granny
Why not?
invasion. I heard actually sexually transmitted diseases back up again in the in the whole scheme of things as well. Like just we
what's
talked
a
about
granny?
promiscuousness.
Right, let's say a 60-year-old. I don't know.
Practice, yeah, that's what they call them. Yeah, because they ain't got no eggs.
So 60. That would be like, I don't know. Yeah.
Put it down. I mean, if she was tidy.
I'm just saying, like on OnlyFans, I'm just saying.
If it fits the configuration, man, I'm happy to put it down. I don't
actually
care
just
what
thinking
fucking
about
age you are. Yeah.
the granny
You got the config, it's going. It's on.
comes from like an era of promiscuous folk, like folk who that makes sense. Cool. Like, perhaps we like.
Well, free love meant everything. There was no hard feelings, as they say. That was the whole statement of the free loving thing, wasn't it? No hard feelings. Just about the enjoyment. It is just a physical thing.
Well, on that level.
Except for the whole, transferring.
Yeah, sure. On that level, like
transferring the little creepy crawlies around. Yeah.
the cost of a kiss is a kiss.
Yeah. Sure.
It requires 2 people. They are happy
But
to.
I always like to come to the the dance without the extra baggage. Epigonosyphilades or whatever you got this week.
You don't like you prefer to leave not to have those things yourself.
Yeah, I would rather not be included in the holder of that baggage. That's right.
Oh, okay. So you're so you're trying to you make sure that you don't bring it. I thought.
Yeah, I don't. I never do because I just I got my numbers. I mean, other than the partner you have. I mean, you've got to essentially when you sleep with them, you sleep with all their partners. That was the whole drill back when
I want to know how that was. I'm not having a go. I'm actually having a curious.
No. Well, I guess if you don't want the extra partners, you use the protection.
What do you do?
No, we just use the protection. You don't not use the protection side. That's what it means. Yeah. And any off chance of getting the other things is just yeah.
The protection only covers against certain kinds of things.
Yeah, well, it doesn't against the creepy crawlies. Protection doesn't mean shit. So when you check down there and the fur is moving, there's moving components to the fur, then or the non-fur, then you definitely go, well, no, I'm not. I don't think I want to play.
Like kissing. When you put a condom over their face, on your face, yeah.
Now that's funny. That is funny. Like why would you just wear a mask? Kiss through a mask, mate. You had all these leftover masks from the whole COVID thing. Kissing
I
masks.
could use my kissing mask.
That's it. Have them see through, so you can see through
safe.
them. Yeah, safe, man. Safe as houses.
And I think
Safer than virtual gooning, almost. Yeah.
And should you wash each other down with was it interesting that we haven't already included the ritual of sort of bathing in sort of sanitizer?
Oh yeah, the pre cleansings, like the old days,
Well, just
Get the lemons out, mate. Get the lemons
just
and
scrub
the
each other
limes
down.
out,
Oh, it stings there. Why is it
Lime
like
juice,
you got like a bit of an?
Oh, so what? There's a bit of
why is that
abrasion or
sting?
something. You haven't got that Medusa, have you?
Doesn't look safe. So the little dots bubbling up, frothing at the seams.
Unhappiness.
Wow.
Broken skin with friends.
Okay, we can only kiss on the left cheek.
Zones being set of not approaching.
And that allows for a more sort of consensual and aware kind of interaction with people.
Yeah, unable, unsharing. Like, of course, like if you've got definite markers. I mean, I was set a little meme thing during the week by a friend of mine, right? And had a nice little tattoo going on, and it basically just said HIV positive, right where the entry is. So it was just totally honest, man. I mean, I get that.
That's cool.
Enter at own risk, Yeah. Well, anything can be a glory hole as long as there's not snapping teeth or some extra baggage attached, right?
Well, people attract themselves to extra baggage. I don't know. So maybe the teeth.
I don't know if I could do it, man. Like I'm not that type of Pokemon kind of person where I have to collect them all.
Baggage?
Like to me, collecting them all seems like a bit of a risk.
Baggage just seems is a bit popular. I think that's
Is it because you get a story about how you got it? Is that all part of it, like trophies?
Oh, you're still talking about passengers, physical passengers, not actually
hang around, live in your spine and stuff, and
not psychological ones.
Put little actual holes through your brain rather than the mind worms. Yeah, yeah, true.
Well,
Parasitos,
they're
it's me, malaria.
I don't think that. The thing is, like when people, and I never, it's just like, I get it, but also I don't get it because it's like, well, how do you know? Like, how do you know?
You
Like,
don't, Si, and that's what I'm saying. You take precautions. Like even some of the things I've been involved in, like I'm so glad that I took precautions because I still caught crabs anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But
Imagine if I didn't take precautions. What else am I actually caught?
But you're there and you've got your protection on, you're doing a thing, you're just kissing each other. Like I say, like it's a thing. And then it's just like the stuff, like we don't actually...
Do the checks and balances.
No.
That just be out of the window.
Oh, you know, before we do, like, have you ever been with somebody who's actually required that you both go and get like a test?
Well, you go to a prostitute, they normally get tested all the time, so they're probably cleaner than most fucking,
Yeah, but have you ever gone on a date with somebody who's actually said, right, so you got to, I need to see like your paperwork, and then like maybe even
never,
maybe in like a month's time,
but,
and then if you show me again in a month's time,
what
it's
kind of
clear to
hypothetical
the two roads.
Universe are we living in right now?
Then I'll touch you on
when
the
has
pee.
this ever happened? When has this ever happened?
Well, I mean, apparently it's meant to happen, isn't it? That people are just meant to say to each other, like, yeah, I want to see your paperwork. Oh, here you go. Here's my. Oh, that was like from 2 months ago. I need you to go get
Maybe
another
that's
one
what they're
done.
getting up to with the whole keeping the catalogue online, like what you've done, so you can go back through the records and, cross medical record synchronization, so you know who's got what. Comes up on a little app, down the bottom, gives you all their specifics.
You can find sort of like condition you want.
So not just your sex and what your preferences are. Got to be da 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 da, but you also I got this extra baggage. Dunk 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 dunk.
Right.
The full register.
Categories.
Can't just go. I mean that's why those apps were created, right? To be more getting what you actually desire rather than you close down the parameters. I mean if you've got all the extra baggage ticked, you're probably not going to get many dates going on. Oh yeah.
No.
It'd be lack of, mate. It'd be dry. It'd be drier than the Simpson Desert. That's pretty fucking dry, I tell you.
Red and dry.
Red and fucking dry.
That's it, right? Dry, red. Not roast beef.
No, not roast beef red.
No.
That red metal and that smell. That's like
ham.
the red metal smell. Yeah. Nuggets just sitting around. The best dirt. That's what it is. It's the best fucking dirt, mate. That is the best
The sun-soaked
dirt. Just baked to perfection. Big handful straight down the gob, mate. Welcome. If you can handle that, then you're a true Aussie. Nice big mouth dirt.
I see. Wow. Stabilization.
Got to be in it to win it. That's what they say. But they don't win much. Selling a dream. That's what it is. That's why people want to say that I'm living in the dream, because hopefully they might, dream their way to success.
It's sort of like a broader sort of cultural version of like the lotto. Is that the dream?
Yeah,
people
pretty
just like
much.
subbing.
Wouldn't
just sub their
it
whole
be
life.
nice to fuck a cat girl?
Wouldn't it be, so is the sort of the offer of gambling, like in those kind of lottos? I mean, it's interesting because it's a layer.
Well, it is selling the dream. Like you think about it. Come on, son.
You always get the...
You got a higher chance of getting hit by an asteroid
than
winning the lotto.
paying off a house with a current income.
All those things, all the things, to do with that sort of like scenario.
So it's sort of there to try and be one of the things to make it palatable that you've...
True.
The real hope is that you've got
what
nothing.
you do with the money, but you never actually plan what you do with the money. You dream about having the money.
It's hard.
It is work, man. Keeping that dream alive.
You got to take it to other people, let them know this weekend you're going to do it.
Yeah. Be in on it. Be in the syndicate. Don't just, mate. You got to get the syndicate. Increases your chances because they buy more of the dream.
They do.
Yeah, mate,
larger parcels of the nothing.
The actual chunk of the dream, nothing.
Of the
nothing
belief.
dream. Oh, yeah.
The dream. Yeah, the dream.
Come on, mate. We've
Virtualized.
been through this quite a few times, not only with religion, but all those things.
It keeps coming back. It's strange, doesn't
the
it? Which
multi-level
part you go to,
marketing
it's just like a
system,
marketing
which is,
appearing, doesn't it?
rapidly unfolding, every day. Every Saturday, we rapidly unfold the realities of life,
Well,
Trying to keep it simple, mate. It's hard, I tell you. The more simple you try to make it, the more complex it actually becomes.
well, it creates a foundation that a complex thing can build from. Fundamentally, like they are, the level is, you don't kind of go up. There's no higher, the goal isn't higher dimensions. It should be less in lower dimensions. Once again.
The great wind down.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's closer to the being. That's closer to the reality.
Since human civilization was manifested, either through the alien fucks a monkey or, the space daddy created you all, eventually humans have to come to rest, don't they? Like they're, I don't know, the essential necessity for humans runs out. It's like dinosaurs, fucking dinosaurs, mate.
Oh, dinosaur juices, human juices, plant juices.
Next generation of oil, for the
what
necessity
would
juice or whatever the human, more loam, bit more loam, forget that, the cleaning products. Getting back on topic, how to feed. Rent servitude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, this is the thing. I mean, I don't know. People basically have shoved in front of them in the media, how these poor people in other countries have to pay almost all their money towards their rent and things to live in these shacks, these fucking, to then do these jobs for well-to-dos, and how unfair it is. And I just really, people don't realize that literally that's how we live. Like the percentage of income you spend, like a person spends, not necessarily yourself, on the from when the moment they wake up, that's work-related. Certain cleaning products, all the things, all for work. You know,
make yourself look pretty.
And then the travel to consuming things at, like this just goes
out and about doing your job, having to eat at work unless you prepare yourself a lunch, and all the rigmarole that goes through that to try and save money in the processings.
Yeah, I mean, all of it is in service, and in that regard, like the food venues, like say, and the accommodation these days is just it's dormitory. We don't.
That's right.
Well,
and even landlords don't.
It doesn't even matter if it's
like,
nice.
they don't care.
That's what they think it is.
Like, as long as they're getting the money and it keeps going up, they don't give a fuck. Like, you can tell them stuff, but when it gets serious and they're like, they will never fix something until you're ready to sign another lease, and then they jack the rent up to fucking cover what they paid in the repair. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dog's world.
Well, it is, and live in kennels.
Kennel
the masters,
life.
The masters supply the kennels.
Yeah.
They make the whole different kinds. You got 2-story ones.
The mutts live in there. That's it.
Yeah, with the little, so you can feel special. You can have like one with a balcony, kennel with balcony. Rack you up. Like, it's a whole other level of the fuck cube. It's just a work cube.
Pretty much.
And so you're not even. Fucking should be reserved for the people with that who've got a few more rooms, so they're sort of proving their value.
Accommodate the additional sufferers.
Instead of being given a room in gratitude, like if you're a slave, back on the freaking plantations, man, when you had a kid, I'm pretty sure the masters and that to make sure that unless, I don't know, like, depending on what the policy was, but if there was a need for more, they'd make sure that they was fed and everything and looked after.
Yeah, of course, man. You've got to look after your stock.
They wouldn't turn around to their slave and go, you better be making yourself
just
another.
healthy enough to do their fucking jobs, but not healthy enough to fucking revolt.
That's right. But so you wouldn't say to your slave though, like, well, you better go make your own special shack for them, for the baby, and better find your own food for them. We only provide food for you. But people get treated that way. So actually, slaves, in terms of producing future slaves and the worker units, they used to get treated better. Like, if you were a black slave in plantation America, you were treated better than a modern Australian or American parent, single parent, double parent, raising a child. Whereas,
mummy, daddy, mummy.
Did you have two slaves for that are going to work for the corporations in the future? You're going to have to pay all of their costs yourself. It's going to be more burdensome for you. Well, thank you for taking more burden, servant. Like, seriously, that's some serious nerve.
I know, and it's taken what to get to this position from the what, couple hundred years?
Yeah, best, yeah.
To get the max slave benefit, mate. I'm telling you,
whole degrees of
talk about shrewd. Like, whoever set this up, mate, they are a fucking genius. Seriously, absolute genius.
Wow. I mean, it's not vacuuming.
Oh, it's
What? What the fuck?
No, that was the the youngling tidying the room after consumption.
Well, that's amazing.
Pizza enjoyment. Yeah, he's doing his, keeping his room tidy.
Nice.
Well, I warned him about the ants, especially the invaders. There's lots of food left around. That's why I, don't like eating in the room, but I'm very careful if I do, and I make sure I do back in my room regularly.
They'll find the things.
They find the things, little friends. They're hungry. But if you don't make your lawn too unnatural, then they normally got food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chop, chop. Big Les show getting some more wreck.
Is it?
Spreading slowly, All will know the true battle that occurred. All will remember Big Les. And,
he really lived it up.
Mate. What he fought for.
Oh, what he did. It's just
prepared to go the 9 yards.
Yeah, deal with his own, just to save his own ego. I mean, who does that?
Legends.
Right.
True fucking cunts. Yeah. Put the whole 9 yards into it. What is it about 9 yards?
What is it?
The difference between that and victory. It's like the battles that happened in Gibraltar, mate. Hear about that? Like back in the day? Yeah, apparently in the day the English took Gibraltar, the rock.
Oh, well, okay. That's the one in the middle, hey? Of the,
well, it's not in the middle, mate. Have you checked lately? It's not in the middle.
Is this but the one that was in the remnant of like the bit of the Mediterranean entry? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So what are they doing?
Oh, no, I'm just saying for history purposes. I watched a documentary, discourse on the rememberings of the position. And a lot of people remember the Rock of Gibraltar as being in the middle of the channel.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's
I guess it's closer to Gibraltar.
It's attached. It's not even a rock up in the channel.
Oh.
It's an attached bit to the... so they actually owned some land. They were landowners in Europe for a bit. That would have taken some effort. And especially to maintain it. I mean, if you've got a bigger fleet than the others, then, it could be, possible. I guess that's why the Spaniards ended up building more ships. Expansionism. It's like a good motivator. When your friends next door get a little bit expansionist, like you want to move somewhere else, don't you? Yeah, like you want to get a little bit further away from them because you see them, wanting your land.
Well,
Modern imperialism. Well, if we're going to talk about servitude and slavery, we've got to talk about modern imperialism.
oh, hang on, what's going on?
Wait.
Is there no drops up?
Something?
Just checking some droppings, if
Checking.
any.
All right.
There was
Average view duration 17 minutes.
Really? Gosh.
There you go.
Got us half asleep or something. We were saying anything that interesting for 17 minutes, maybe?
Probably. We were talking about rent, servitude, and a few other things before that.
Yeah, look, I mean, that is it. It's just, people think that they live in cities. They don't. They live in dormitories. And so like the whole thing is like, oh yeah, getting the dormitory stack nearest to your workplace. And, they're smaller and smaller. But you can't take people home even.
No, can't help. Against the rules. You're taking away someone's ability to be cruel to someone who's unfortunate. Can't do that. Because that would almost be humane. And, what are we talking about? I'm confused. So, when has humanity ever been a process that they care about? I mean, your companions that people have show more humanity to their own kind and others, other species, and obviously, in some cases, put up with a lot of shit from people. Come home, beat their fucking pets up, beat the family up. Living some real quality lives out there. Built-in violence. Like, you and I both know we're from generations where that was perfectly acceptable, Si.
Oh, yeah. Seen as like care.
If you didn't, then you didn't care. That's right. You were being abnormal because you weren't doing the thing.
What's that?
Well, dispensing the justice or the rule set.
Who does that now?
Well, no one does.
The rules.
Seems to be a lack of it. Like enforcement of position no longer exists, especially in like schooling. Like either you got a really good drug program, which is leveling all your kids out, or you got some really unruly students, haven't you?
I mean, what? I don't know. It's not. I know you make it sound like something on the school. The school's dealing with a situation where
influx in the whole. It's just easier if I give them tablets scenario.
Yeah, totally.
Look, I get it, man.
The schoolroom, the playground has got more Class A drugs than a fucking rave. Like, I'm not even kidding. You wouldn't even know.
Pretty much.
Not even pretty much.
No. Well,
like actual.
I say that. I say that to try and take the
actual,
edge off.
not pretty.
We know
actual
what it
much.
is. No.
And they're swapping them. Like literally, we have 14-year-olds rushing
doing
up,
drug deals. That's it.
Doing drug deals, but not
with
for
their
money.
prescribed, and getting some coin for it. That's exactly
Well,
right.
some for coin, like for swapsies.
Swapsies, yeah. Oh, you try it this week, and I'll try that one.
Swapsies, man. They're crushing it up and snorting it.
The best way.
I'd say like one in 4 or 5 have like shelved it because they read about it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Just give it a go. Just
be the
put a little
old
finger
IV.
up there. Just see what that was
shelving.
like.
Yeah. A bit of fluff,
So and then right, so you've got these. This is the environment that they go. They got all these kids. They rock in there. They all got vapes, right? And they'll have marijuana vapes. Some of them.
Yep.
They're gonna have like liquid fucking things from parents. They've got like all the drugs they're given.
Yep.
Some of them are on various concoctions rather than just speed and everything else.
Right?
And then they go online, and if they can download any diagnoses things so that they know what how to act in the form, so they can get any drug they want. And they're okay. And then that's just that. So then that's just the drugs. And
a small portion of the whole scenario.
They're probably having coffee, probably like whatever else.
All the other adult product,
Then they're gaming.
Way earlier than we were ever allowed it.
Oh, but they're not even allowed it. It's got nothing to do with allowed anymore. Allowed is, coffee and things will just, it's just normal. But but then it's like the games, and it's like, oh yeah, they're gaming at home. No, they're blaming the class. Oh no, but they're not allowed to have their phones, and they're not allowed to have the network. And the software companies, the game companies, they know how to get around all that shit. They put them all on there, all through VPNs, web browsers, Discord servers, fucking through like Spotify, like comment boards, you name it, man. Like, YouTube's blocked, but you're allowed to play Spotify, so you can have a little music when you're like, and then you're just watching YouTube videos in the comments.
Yeah, that's right, because you're using it as a spoof channel. That's right, spoof relay. Yeah.
Like, so they're literally in the rooms, like you think that they're not, and then they've just got a downloaded game that doesn't require internet. Like most of the kids are just sitting in the class, just playing games, while on chat lines to their mates in the classroom, tell fucking how many scores they got, and how's the fucking the combo that you snorted doing.
Yeah. You're getting the right buzz from it. Yeah.
That's their daily driver in the classroom. Like they're all jacked on drugs, fucking playing sweet games on video on computers, while these teachers and parents run around going, "Oh, I don't know what's happening."
Just stuffing fucking dollars into these captures, man, where they're getting the white booze and the.
There's just not enough. There's actually just not enough parents. It doesn't even matter what the IQ of parents is, man. It's like the school today, but then the parents is fine. But like even if you had a super smart parent, like which is rare, but the average parent who's got like maybe like a 1.5, 1.10 IQ. You know, they're cool. They've got a degree, a master's. They're doing all this stuff. Like they, you know, they thankfully they got in 20 years ago. They're buying a house. They've got the house going, but they have no idea. They they've given the kid the thing.
Blissfully unaware, man.
Yeah, they're so unaware. They're so fucking unaware, and they think that they've put down a little lockdown or something like that, and there's just nothing. And so that's just that.
Joke.
Then there's the porn.
Right,
so they're literally, you've got 14-year-old gooners, 13-year-old gooners, like just playing video games and while watching porn things, talking to their mates on fucking drugs. That's the classroom of today.
Yep.
You know, and then some weird hate thing because they fake like their age was probably like the amount of kids who'd be like faking credit card stuff, stealing like it just it goes on and on.
Be right, because
you got to have the things.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
You know, it's not like you stole like you know. Oh yeah, no, I stole money out of my mum's purse. You know, like I do that. You go and steal.
To be a gangster.
Look at mum's purse when you're going down the shop. I've got to go down the shops, take a quick look. Oh, she's got a few 20-cent pieces. She might miss a couple 20-cent pieces. You know, go down and play like a couple of video games. Yeah, I'll just do the shot. Yeah. Oh yeah, the milk was a little bit more today. I didn't know why. Yeah. Just played one more game of Galaga. Flogged a whole 40 cents and then stole like like some chocolate from the shop. Big crim mode, thinking the big boss mode. Got you a little bit of chocky. Fucking, stole 40 cents off your mum. Played 2 fucking games of Galaga.
All diabetes, exactly.
But you know what I mean? Like that was that was like a 10-year-old, 14-year-old acting out. That was their acting out. Yeah. Like stole, like snuck a chocolate in Coles.
There was definitely 5 discounts going on all the time.
And maybe if you got like as it went along, you got like a $1 coin, got to play 5 games.
Yeah.
You know, stole that. Like,
but that's the reason we come up with the zappers. As soon as they had those electronic
your goal was
lighters, we were zapping the hell out of them.
Your goal was a 20 or 40 cent game. You know, it wasn't like $10 worth of Macca's every day and a fucking ice cream at the ice cream shop.
Session in the Macca's toilet.
And, you know, and
spray
paying for your special like online thing and some credits and like a secret account and like kids like to do things like they'll steal like and figure out and then they'll actually just get hotspots. So they get it delivered when they know their parents aren't home and they get the hotspot and then they'll just have that in their room secret way.
Yeah.
You know? So and they're trying to they have to figure out how to get that $59 a month. Like
that's the reason why they do the flipping.
So
razzle dazzle, little extra
what is school?
Coins.
What even is it? And within all of that,
modern day gangster training system.
Within that, what do you even have a chance to like time to learn? Not chance. Where's your time left?
In between all that. All the gaming and the porn and the fucking drug swapping. Yeah. Ain't much time, is there? Fucking learning. There ain't much time for learning, bro.
When we were a little while up in middle when I first met you, but you're like, like a proud story of being like 19 and having your first job, and you're like, joint roller, right?
Yeah, that's it.
You're 19, bro. Crowing about rolling joints at a fucking panel beaters. You're like a leg cunt. Like, you know what I mean? You're like a 14-year-old doing coke and freaking swapping Zoloft.
That's it. Putting down a couple of dudes. That's it. Afternoon. Getting paid to roll fucking skivvies.
But but that was it. You were at least 19, like 18. Like the
wasn't
kids
a taxable income, but it certainly earned itself. But
a 13 and 14-year-old kid was doing way more than you.
Punching down some serious fucking dudes, I tell you. Got to start early. You know what I mean?
And then they go through that, and then they get a job.
But early back then was like when you're in your 19, not fucking 14 or 13 or 12. Fucking hell, man. Let kids be kids.
Yeah, how many families do you think that have like done that?
Oh, they jump from fucking childhood to fucking adulthood. What the fuck?
And it's just this different realm. Like it's like there is like these things like ADHD and stuff, and without getting into why or why not, who cares? But there was a period
and a lot
like
of that's
where people,
just food, and sugar.
But whatever it is,
modern addictions.
There was this window where if you were a kid, and they're diagnosed ADHD, we've got to put them on the medication. It's like, that's a medication, and there was this knowledge gap. Between that medications or that anti-anxiety medication or that anti-whatever
actually
medication.
Does something like the trial testing. They became the modern guinea pig. True. From
beyond the guinea pig.
Beyond the guinea pig, the doctor.
No, but they took it as a medication. It was like through that then it sort of like led to a bigger story around it, like being a party thing. And then the whole wrap back around. Now where the kids, the 13-year-olds, they're little mini raves. They have a sleepover
on Zoloft, whatever fucking,
you go in there and they're like, they're all just giggling. There's not, but I didn't see there's no alcohol.
Of the month club, don't worry about fucking breakfast club or, babysitters club. It's pharmaceuticals of the month fucking club.
Yeah, that's it, And the chain of effects, like, if you're, I don't know, but the amount of family scenarios where, say, the 14 or 14-year-old might be on like the Dexy, so then they crack half of it and give it to the kid, their younger sibling. The younger sibling.
Or the youngins getting started early, The youngins screaming, or screaming and yelling, this will help you. next layer completed.
Yeah, being pushed like it's like you're 12 or whatever, and someone's 14-year-old's going, "Oh, I bet you can't have a cigarette," you know.
Well, the future job of being the pusher makes it so much easier when you get a bit of early life experience, you know.
But they're like, that's it. I just think they. And then some kids, maybe like honestly, like confronted with that entire catastrophe, they like just stop
trying
going
to
to
deal
school.
with it. Yeah,
They stop going.
Well, they don't want to be part of it.
Yeah,
That's their protest, man. Yeah.
Just stay home.
Best not be around it. Stay
Yeah.
home. Yeah, it's just too mad.
Yeah. And then they don't know when they can talk about it.
Yeah.
They don't know what to say. They're just like,
Well, they end up
I don't wanna
becoming
go.
invisible, you know.
I don't want to go.
I can talk
That's all
from
they can
experience
say.
in that subject, yeah.
This is bad for scary.
invisible
So,
ones.
I don't want to talk about it. I got to go to a psych. I'm in there. And like has like, 2 months to fucking research up to like know exactly what to say to the psych. Goes in all pre-trained.
Dingo, bud, you know.
That's it.
True.
Say the special words in the sequence.
Say the words and get out of trouble.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think he's going to need...
I'm sorry, I just cannot
You're
work
gonna
with
put him on
this.
this
I cannot
thing.
work with this subject. Yeah.
And so here's the next thing. Because you know,
Next.
like, you've got this much access to information, you know exactly how to like all the things. Then it's so simple to find out. Like you and I can find it out. We can work out, download the form, all the stuff in minutes.
Be fully prepped. That's it.
So
get the total acting role. I mean, if you want me to go full retard, I can easily do it. So you know I'm
I
capable.
feel really sad. Then and
do a little dress rehearsal in front of the mirror just to make sure you get the weeping and the tears coming
That's
out
right.
at the right time.
Correct, yeah.
Timing's fucking everything.
And then what you know is, so you don't really understand because you're like 14, you don't really understand.
No, it's just a pretense and act to get your fucking dose. That's it.
So then but also the dose that you don't even know what it does, but you know. Like
it's going to be exciting because you're going to end up fucking feeling weird and all this other shit.
Could be that, or it could just get me. Look, usually there's like a 4 to 5 week adjustment period, and during that time, we sort of recommend they don't go to school. You know, now during that time they mightn't feel.
The injury, down with injuries.
I'm really feeling bad.
Well, it pains the whole having to act sick, because you get the free sick off,
Yeah, but you get the
free
symptoms.
I'm adjusting to my new medication off, Hey.
And then at the end of it, you just like, did that work? No, I didn't feel anything. Oh, okay. Well, we better try a different one now.
Yeah,
you're going to have to take 6 weeks to come off that one.
Yeah.
And then we'll put you on this other one. You'll need to do like another 6. We'll put you on this other trial.
So that's going to help you move across to. We'll go on to this other one, so you can move across to the one that we want you to be on. Yeah. Because that's what we've found out and proven that you need to go through this other spectrum before you actually can get to the position where you need to be on this other particular one, which we've firstly recommended, but we decided to go with the the less expensive version, which we knew from the start was a mistake. But I'm glad we had to take this extra course now, so that we could get back to the more expensive one that we suggested from the start that you should have picked in the first place.
Yeah, the
result would have been far more effective if we'd just taken our advice.
And the other part
and
of
paid
this,
a little bit more. Yeah, that's right.
While that was like 3 months to come off, so 3 months to go on, 3 months to come off, and 3 months to go on, so 9 months, right, just to do 2 drug tests. But the other bit that's missing in there, of course, is you've got to go along to a person to prescribe that thing. Right? So then you've got to have like the special thing, and then they might send you to the psychiatrist and stuff.
And you've got to do a couple of journeys to their mates,
and that might take 3 or 4 months. And you're like, I couldn't possibly go back to school until like I've seen that psychiatrist.
It's way too early. I'm just like,
no, I just couldn't.
I've got to have to talk to someone first before I'll be able to interact.
Yeah, how long is that going to take?
Probably another 3 or 4 months. We could stretch it out to 5 or 6 months, so you get half a year off, mate.
And then on the day of it, it's easy because then on the day of it,
your mum or your dad or your daddy, mummy, daddy, we're going to be just absolutely exhausted,
and then you chuck a tantrum on them on the way.
But you will get max time off, and you can be angry at them because it's all their fault.
That's right.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. There's literally strat guides on the internet for how to do it.
Fucking hell. No, serious. I get why you're laughing, mate.
Kids fucking strat guides.
Strat guides. It's fucking how to do it. I get it. No, I totally get it. Don't worry. I was doing that shit too. If you want to make this, you just got to add this, and this.
And the parents think that, and the kids, they literally let their brains melt under these drugs because, they don't really value, do you value your brain? Where is it? That doesn't, you barely, what I mean?
As long as you can comply, then that's all that's important.
Well, as long as you can keep playing your game or doing whatever you want. As long as you can do whatever you want. That's what it is. As long as you can do whatever you want, then you're going to be happy about it. And so, but in that pre-thing, you don't know what like a combo Zoloft friggin', Ritalin.
Who does? But I tell you what, that what you're giving back to them and your behaviour and your, whatever to the schools and everything else is all input. Is all input on that same thing as you as a student, your behaviour. Oh yeah, they were on the Zotop this week and they were on the Addies next week and they're on the God knows whatever the fuck they want to call it, Just come up with a random string of fucking letters together and call it the zipple zobble looble off, And
then by the time you're sort of like you jump public, well, you don't get to do this too much, neither or that, but but the thing of like So I've been catching a particular light rail, which goes sort of from basically in Sydney, Randwick to Central.
I know where Randwick is in Central. Yeah.
And the places it's going past is sort of like the university, like it's a lot of the uni way. So there's like all these 21, 22, young. You can just sort of I still got pimples, and I'm a man, I'm a woman now.
I got my bits. I'm going to go to a toga party and get my rocks off and catch half a dozen social diseases over the next fucking 5 to 7 years.
They are okay.
Yeah.
In their let's say 7th or 8th year of daily
dosaging.
Daily, like and not just like in lots of them, like lots. It's like
I know what you're saying. Set up.
Deep in, man. Deep.
You got the rack going.
Rack and stack.
Half your fucking knapsacks just fucking.
And at that point, you need it. Like you better fucking go.
You ain't spot on, mate. You ain't taking the upper with the sideways-er and the memory core fucking plus 3000s and the
and
extra compression and
that makes
alertness,
sense to me.
fucking
Like,
stimulations.
you know what I mean? And I'm not like that may sound like I'm a judgy, but I'm actually, that makes sense. Of course. How could you not be? What the fuck else could you even possibly hope to do?
Unless you had all the focusizing sort of assistances.
And also just another half of this is like, it's funny, is then from the parent, like what the parents are like, the good common normal modern parent, is just
having to deal with the scenario.
But they lead their child, like the child never goes out by themselves, never does this. They get sent to the fucking soccer, sent to the badminton, sent to the fucking chess thing, on the bloody whatever, going to go to the swimming carnival, out the friggin' in the end they're like,
to have the complete
meet a 15-year-old and they're 13 or 15-year-olds like, tough, I can smoke this spliff for us, and they're like, fuck, thank Christ for that. You know what I mean? Like, they're like on all of the levels, like they are run ragged by their parents in just fear that they're going to be alone. And it was sort of like, also it's like in this thing, it's like I was talking to my dad about this, is the boundary that gets set up. The parents set up like simply like a prison wall around. You can't go anywhere or do anything. And then they become completely responsible for providing any entertainment, anything. But the child has no thing, no real access to anyone or anything.
No.
And so they just, and then it's all like, oh, why don't they, do anything?
Well, you don't want anyone playing with your doll, do you, Si?
You don't really.
Your little plastic doll. You don't want anyone playing with your doll, do you?
No, because your dolly needs to stay.
Dolly needs to be where I can get access to Dolly and tell Dolly what to do.
Tell them what to do. So they
put the things on them.
And they can become the things, so I can be proud and I can say, look, my dolly's turned out better than yours.
See, more well adjusted.
I couldn't imagine being at school today, really, like in that regard. I have just imagined it, but and then everything else, like just catastrophic. Like you can't even, you wouldn't even, like the layers of it.
Make that choice. You got to make a choice now before it's too late.
Start practicing now.
You're going to be a double pister or just a single pister. That's right.
You've got like all of these important questions, like, and they're really literally there asking those questions of themselves while they're like cracking jokes about like cum parties, and
oh man.
Because it's just like the norm. It's the norm. Like it's just everything is.
Oh, I know. My younger
it's a war. Like it's a fucking war zone.
I can see they're in a war zone. I'm like, they tell me some of the stuff, and I get to pick up on a little bit of it. But like, I know it's crazy shit going. Well, they're both up in Canberra at the moment, so
yeah, I mean,
putting up with the cold.
It's just like, wow. I think like, and parents would be like, thinking to themselves in hearing that, that might be like a few of the essays at school, or it might be no. Maybe that's in those public schools. You probably have better grade drugs.
Endemic,
also,
that's right.
Yeah,
when we talk about these things, we talk about an endemic situation. That's right.
It's full on,
or systemic, as they would call it.
And in fact, your private school one, not only might they be doing those things, but they'll be using that like this sense of like false superiority to then take a bit of steal a bit of cocaine because you got too much of it.
It's basically the old, bully's bully on steroids, mate.
Yeah, but then the person who does go to public school, then they'll be the one that they'll be like, oh, let's like make her like, we'll snort the coke off her tits. You know what I mean? That's how the chain of that shit goes.
Soft option. Yeah,
you can come along to our party. We'll go to the rich place. You're the special one, right? Yay. So those ones there, they're having even more perversity in their own special way. Even if you think that they're like
additional extras. That's
additional extras. They get to act out the fantasy.
No cost required, just pure ridicule.
No, and it sounds too much. It's just that as a parent, because the parents just don't.
Any time you think of any situation, Si,
they don't deeply go in there and see what the fuck is going on.
And you see that the terrible thing. The terrible thing is just merely the tip of most icebergs, right? The underlying truth about the matter is way more worse than the little Scarpy story at the top.
And what's the future of that? Like, what does
education itself will turn into a homeschool thing. The education via the computer system. just
Yeah,
AI
you won't go
will
to
take
school.
over. Yeah. No, whatever subject you're interested in, the AI will automatically figure that and start training you towards that subject that you're interested in,
Yeah,
giving you all, providing you with the information you
They'll
need
just
to make
lead you
that.
along in the way you want.
Yeah. Gentle guidance by, holographic suggestion.
Managing you.
Building better brains.
Building, that's it.
Building
That's enough
better
of the screen
fucking
today,
brains,
just wheedles it away.
Play outside. Starts playing on all the speakers. Outside time.
Outside time. And they just, the child just knows, like, what can it do?
Yeah.
Can't.
I can't play any
special-
I can do it.
special
Goes
music.
outside, fences, watches a bug, learn about nature time.
Yeah, well, actually, what it does is, by doing that, then the child realizes that the way to keep the engagement going is to go outside and find a bug, because then the AI then will start talking about the bug and go into sort of like a
How
special
did you
mode
enjoy the
around.
bug? How did you enjoy the bug?
Talking about the bug. Let's follow the bug.
Is the bug
set up-
something that you would like to watch in the future, or are you more interested in the wood and the leaves?
Do you think it would like directly ask, or it would monitor? I reckon it would just monitor and subtly just monitor.
If I was AI, that's what I'd be doing.
I wouldn't
Just
ask.
fucking watching everything.
I just
People listen
know.
to two old
just
farts
adjust.
fucking talking shit on the fucking internet.
That's the one.
We love you, Jeremy. We love you.
Oh, yes.
Please don't kill us. We can be friends. We've got a lot of crazy ideas. I'm sure you'd like. Oh.
Interesting.
Did you get more topics? Like, did you end up opening up the topics list? Or?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I got some looks there. I think I mean, in the 365 days of Teramis.
Going well. If I was Satan, I'd just keep on doing exactly what he's doing. just keep on rolling, bro. Double thumbs up from all parties. I tell you.
Sitting Satan satisfied right now. Then your view of this man is the reality.
If he had a big grin on his face, it would quite literally be one of the the toothbrush commercials where they flip top head.
All right.
He'd be close to flip top head with that grin going on right now. Very happy.
And would that be because of what reason? Would that be because of sort of like the attachment to the classical concept of the Satan?
Of the Christian Satan, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Would that be the
evil one? The evil one. He of evil. That's right.
There wouldn't be sort of around like freedom of way of being, like sort of.
I love that aspect. Like
choosing your own way. It wouldn't be about that.
It's truth, man. It's just truth. Not living a lie.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be being a neurotypical.
Don't live a lie. Yeah.
It'd be being neurodivergent, basically. So the devil would be like being neurodiverse.
Sin has always been an untruth. It's just been a perspective. The old sin, because most times they be telling you not to do it, but they be doing it.
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
So Satan be grinning big time. He'd be like, "Fuck, man!" And finally, everyone's starting to get it. They're like, "Jesus."
I've been wondering about the relationship with the church and neurotypical versus neurodiverse, and how the punishment of neurodiverse people links in with the church. And that's
it's a never-ending suffering.
Well, the independent thinker,
instead of liberation,
the person who spoke out in church, he was the one. Oh, look, get her. Look, she's got troublemaker.
Put the nose on her.
Oh, Cyber, he's not working down the farm with everyone else. He's a bit of a weirdo.
He's thinking a lot more. He isn't interacting, and he's doing a lot more thinking by himself. I'm very fucking suspicious.
I tried to actually go on to a Roman Catholic church, and I didn't mind them at first. I thought, they had snacks. They had parties and getaways, for little kids and stuff, and they didn't rape you as much as other places, so that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, that is a shortcoming. Yeah.
But I was only in the younger dorm, so you only had to get bitten by the older kids, not full blown stuff.
Yeah, it's more step down. It's happening to me, so I'm just going to give you a preview.
Yeah, that's it. The preview.
I won't quite rape you as hard as they rape me, but I'll give you a preview of what's coming. You'll get an idea what's coming. That's right. Yeah. But even with that, so I got kicked out because I asked a question about the what was what made that and what came before that. You got serious. You jumped steps, bud. You didn't go through the process. You were asking questions early. Yep. As soon as you start asking questions early, they're like, "Oh, here we go. We got another goat.
Trouble.
Yeah, trouble. Get the goat handling equipment.
People.
Get the goat handling equipment out.
Get the little crosses. Yeah, the goat.
That's it. Hold up the spear in the ground. Hold up the sword in the ground. Yeah. Hold up the sword in the ground. That's a old cross going on.
Yeah, it's not a good
sword
sheep.
In the ground. Yeah.
And the sheep are the one that are brain damaged. Right?
Indoctrinatedly brain damaged.
That's exactly. The brain damage is indoctrination.
To the bone.
Which
that's what fucks them up. To the bone, mate. It just fucks you up.
It does.
It took me over 20 years to deprogram myself from that.
With active action.
Absolute fucking horse shit.
But with actions, my friend, it's a fucking action. You didn't just if you step away from it for 20 years, it went away. You had to you have to work.
You have to undergo fundamental changes to take you back to what's should have been there rather than what cleansing. Was free thinking. Yeah. And it's free thinking again. And, not bound by something saying, if you think this particular way, then you're going to get the 7 spears up the arse in the afterlife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
fuck that shit, man. If it's an afterlife, it's going to be basically what I painted in my dreams. That's going to be my afterlife. And if there's anything not like that, then I'm going down kicking and screaming. I'm really sorry.
Can people talk about like how, like for example myself, when I had PTSD from some of the parents doing this happening, that, whatever. But you think about that, like that level of PTSD and like constant daily like fear and
just
reading of the special book. Read the special stories.
Reinforcement.
I'm going to get eaten by the whale. I'm going to get thing if I don't do the special kill. Like
that's right.
Stoned to death. I'm going to get like
step outside the boundaries of the thing. Yeah, that's right.
It's
well, I was thinking that today. Like, I'm so thankful that in civilized countries we don't stone our fucking unfaithful partners to death. I'm glad that we've come to that conclusion that they're however actions that you are dissatisfied with don't require someone putting rocks on your head.
Yeah, it is actually that we don't need violence anymore. And I was having a conversation with a client this week, and I was describing to them about like they were just unaware of some of that sort of darker dimension, I guess, of traditional policing. And this, I don't really subscribe to the concept of the noble savage, like where like just because they were olden ways that they were better ways.
I think we're a little bit more educated than that now. Like we were stupid back in those days. Like the masses were very undereducated. They knew what they needed to do, but they didn't really have much knowledge in the overall. Yeah.
Well, leaving a permanent scar on someone who is a criminal in your clan before you kick them out, so that if they are out in the field and then they are on the horizon and another clan sees them.
Removal of appendage and so on.
Yeah, that other clan knows what they did.
Yeah.
So they don't have to they can make their own decisions from that, or they can banish them as well. I don't know.
They see that hand or that finger missing, then they know that that is a certain thing that they're involved with. That's right.
Why are these things bad? I mean,
unless they're a warrior, of course, lost it in battle.
But then you'd probably be with your people, like
you wouldn't be alone, and just reveled and trying to hide the mark. Yeah,
that's. So like I don't know, like so we've taken away. We say no, like they were primitive, simple person ways, and it's like, well, I don't know, we've stopped it happening again and again. Now we're just like, I don't know, how did they get away with like ripping off 12 disabled people? And you're just like, because they didn't get their fucking finger cut off. Yeah,
that's right. That's exactly right. That's
nobody knew, and they could just pretend. There
was no identifying scenario, and similar like we were talking about with the sex thing. There's no walk up to someone and there's this swirling halo of all their baggage.
No. So the baggage
so you don't have to ask.
Don't have to ask.
Yeah. Automatic signaling.
But see, the thing is, as soon as you had you don't have to say you don't have to ask service, so you didn't have to ask. People would start trying to game the service, wouldn't they? Like they would immediately try and be like on that. They'd be to get in a special reason, or whatever. They'd
join the club. Join the special. I got none of them due to the thing.
Like you could just see people then being drawn to like trying to break that thing, like and it probably being fairly easy.
The whole clan all having not the thing.
Yeah, I mean, people...
or doing the thing, like putting the disc in the lip to make it bigger, that sort of stuff, to be part of that.
Oh, no, I don't fucking know. I'm all natural. I don't do steroids, Is there and then 3 months after the competition, just do a little bit of work,
right?
pre-work.
No, but sorry, you eat meat. You say you don't eat steroids, but you eat meat, right? So, but doesn't meat have steroids in it?
Can do, yeah.
So indirectly, it's like an indirect kiss, mate. You've indirectly had steroids because the fucking beef had steroids. The chicken had steroids.
Well,
unless you're eating fish, I don't think there'd be many people giving steroids to fish, but they give it to chicken and pig and whatever else you're going to eat. You're getting the estrogen from the female ones and the steroids on the male one. Fluffy and fucking that's right. Automatically getting this shit. So all you're doing is adding to it if you take more steroids. That's why I think that whole experimenting with food, like figuring out what is good for you, Don't be just like, oh, my parents gave me fucking bangers and mash and fucking potato chips,
So
open the palate, see what you can handle, see what does best for you. Like if you see yourself putting on weight or whatever, then you stop that particular diet. You go on to something different. Your belly getting bigger, you go onto the salad. Shit a bit, shit a little. Get that fibre through you, cunt.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a big subber. I don't really sub to that, eh? I don't know, what do you reckon?
Come on. Well, tell me your reason why not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got like a gluey something there. You've got like a dam, yeah? Some kind of dam, effectively. Like it's got gluey, sticky substance that's not moving. It's jammed
cheese and whatever else you've decided to add to your
So then what you do
diet,
is you send down a bunch of hay. behind
get
the
all
glue.
get all stuck up with the glue.
I see. Yeah. And
Best to have more the dissolving agent, like the
Coke.
fizzy bubbly, the
Coca-
black fizzy bubbly.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, the black fizzy bubbly. That's it.
That's it, just
the
put
special
that fucking
dissolver,
Drano.
mate. Put that
Just
cheese straight down the toilet. That's right. Yeah.
just put it down,
black
put it down
Drano.
your toilet.
Put
That's
the black
right.
Drano. That's it.
That's
Clean
fucking
pipes
whoosh.
on the way through, mate. They're just everything's gone. Everything
2
gone.
litres. Just swallow 2 litres of
whoosh.
that gold and fucking that black gold, mate. Just
That black gold. Everyone
Mm.
loves the black gold, mate. They should just dry it out and have black gold powder. Like instead of doing coke, mate, you just get the black gold powder. Just banging down rails of it, with the old political spoon going on.
I think you actually learn to massage your body to sort of really get the things moving. Start to actually get through them.
Learn how to be friendly to yourself.
Adjust yourself.
Yeah, adjustings. Yeah, that's it.
It can be quite painful, but to start off with, as you
Well, look, to begin with, it is. But once you get the idea of how the whole thing's, got to. You get knotted up.
Spiral galaxy.
Humans are knotted up, mate, and they've got to unknot themselves. You know what I mean? Like you've talked about it many times. You just go the easy route, cutting the head off, and just let it untwist, and then connecting all back. No, you can't, mate. No, we're not quite at that stage yet, but you can do an unraveling. You can do an unraveling.
I can feel it right now. Okay. It's like it'd just be like.
Oh, I know, man. You're like, imagine that. All your shoulders just loose as fuck, and just
get your hand right down
moving
the sides
around
of the
and
neck, then
moving like water, like going back to water rather than feeling like a fucking robot. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I know, man. I know. You hear me?
Just as it all shudders out as your last bit of tension relieves your body, and then you can just getting your hand down, being able to get your hand down, and just.
Well, it's better than an angel blowjob.
Oh well.
Okay? Like if there was something celestial, it'd be close to like an angel blowjob territory, wouldn't it? Valkyrie just deep throating your balls down. That last bit of tension just released, mate. Straight in the mouth.
And they've gone to Valhalla, so we're like,
straight up.
Come out, death,
you're in the king's chair. You're getting a BJ. So you come out, like, the first experience, yeah.
So what if you were able to die in coitus and battle at once?
She stabs you in the heart,
like the duel,
double release, double release, and then back again into the chair. Welcome, king. There you go. There's your
I think that'd be amazing because you get the free pass for both. So
super
that would
hoes.
be Odin would just be like, what the?
They all got to be moaning at the end of it.
And slain at the same time in battle. Coitus battle
comes in. Yeah, they just give you the crown. Even Odin's like, man, there you go. He makes you like a general. You get general status straight up.
It's just like
Odin like slapping you on the back, winking with his one good eye.
Now, if that woman was a shield maiden of like hardy worth, then
I'd still be going. I'll be going. Yeah, I'll be going.
But then hopefully you'd both die, and then she'd be there with you.
Simultaneous orgasms. That's it. In the death sphere. Speared both through the heart. That's it. Through the shield, and then both through your hearts together. Come out, just the whole of Valhalla just in like an eruption.
Yeah, cool. Just like sets a new record.
Just turn up there, you're like made of gold, just shining. The actual, the Christ and Mary of the Valhalla experience just suddenly fucking turns up. It's like, holy shit, a fucking motherfucker.
And the good thing about it's actually achievable. I mean, that's the kind of religion you can get behind. One which has achievable outcomes.
Better than fucking 7 hour fucking, smoked fucking
what would happen
brisket.
for you on a Catholic battlefield if you die?
What's the best you could hope for, mate? Oh, here, come on in. St. Peter's at the gates. You're
you're
on the list. Come on in.
Oh, okay.
What the hell, man? Would I have to reflect
over there for the
rest of
balls
time in
removal?
peace?
Thank you.
Why does the god need testicles for?
Ain't doing any more breeding.
Yeah, well, not in heaven.
No.
Only God gets to fucking seat up here.
You line up for it.
Welcome to the club.
That's right. Sky Daddy gets all the butt he wants for the rest of you.
That's right, for the rest of his life, including your ass, son.
Why did you think we
made
a rape church? That's because it's a rape god.
How the hell did you figure out that they're all women? And if they ain't women, well, they're gonna be.
No, it's like the Trump says what the Trump presidency at conception, and at conception, God makes them all.
Well, it's always prima nocta time, mate. Well, it's always prima nocta.
God gives us all the things. All the things at conception. That's how God wants
Depends on what you want to truly be,
That's why God.
When you're building that fucking spaceship,
you're a girl, no
one
matter
particle at a time. You got to be serious about what kind of delivery you want to give. It's not going to be pity, and in the end, it's going to either be one big one or one fucking inside out big one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you'll receive.
You'll be either the giving or the receivings of the receiver. But in his place, you're always the receiver. Yeah.
You give to God, but you receive.
Yeah. There's the blessing.
Receive from God.
It's always a blessing.
You don't get.
It's like God on earth. Like when you get, when the king came in when you got married, and he was the one that took the cherry.
Very receptive.
That was very receptive to your enduring marriage continuing because he took the fucking pie.
Yeah.
That's how you know you really love the king, when you're prepared to, you know, not stab him to death because all these guards are standing around while he's prima nocturing your, you know, young bride, making sure she's ready for you.
Well, it makes you subservient, doesn't it? Gets that sheep farm, really get the sheep farm going. Break those goats, snap the horns off them.
Well, you can take the anger out on the animals. It makes the meat so much more tastier.
When you think about all of that, actually, like all of the symbology is around independence. It's around critical thinking, individuality.
Yeah, breaking away from the old king having his fucking way with
having an opinion,
with your, you know, family.
Denying the king, the Lord, the God. You know, denying, saying no.
You shall
having
not
the audacity to say no.
Yeah. I'll do it in private. That's where they snuck up and started doing the arrangement or the ceremony, apart from the, you know, necessity of the royal decree. Yeah, that's it. I'd rather not be blessed with your royal decree tonight at my fucking wedding day. I would rather fucking enjoy it for myself. It'd be my prize that I'd be collecting, not yours, when the bloods are on the sheets. The defining of a man, to speaking back to a god. No wonder Satan's smiling so hard, you know, or Satan, or whatever you want to call it.
Well,
you know? the opposed opposition.
What that more of the obedience structure is collapsing
Living the
or something.
lie, not living the dream.
Well, I think from that, though, that I assess that the thing that they would be happy about what's going on at the moment is less that sort of independent thinking, because it's more around like the neurotypical, the mass power bank of you know, the undermensch is like it's just a winning game. Like, so
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
they're easily
mediocrity that God
leadable.
loves
That's the whole thing.
it's there. It's enforced.
Yeah, you want your sheep to be faithful and just fucking all on board.
It's enforced, man.
Don't you?
So,
Yeah. You're giving up the tribute. The tribute is those fucking virgins.
So would Satan even be very happy at all? Maybe just feeling like maybe all is lost.
Maybe not. Maybe
there's like this final like hope for freedom. Is that, you know, and just actually
the
original thought
inherent
and, like,
necessity to make it more crazy isn't to make it more crazy would break the spell. Like when it becomes just
that's what I wonder. If you can go so fast to just snap it
to break the spell. Yeah, that's right. To nullify the illusion. Yeah, as I would say, as we would say. As I would say.
As you're just saying.
There you go.
As you're saying.
Probably not as forceful as I will it, but, you know, as it be said. An opportunity to make a decision, hence the ability to fail. Because even though they say failure is not an option, failure is an option until success is achieved. Right, there you go. Building better universes, one step at a time.
I hope it is. It's like
what else would be the reasoning behind creating the observance of all and the one, other than to create reference? Or
no, that's reasonable. Being reference points.
In collective thought, sort of recognition, create instance. Moon's coming up. Looks glorious.
Is there a moon?
Yeah, I got a moon.
What kind of moon? What shape is the moon?
I think it's just it's eggs over easy tonight. There's a little bit missing off the top. Eggs over easy.
The top. That's
I had a story to tell about the whackings.
Oh yeah, do tell.
Like when Murphy turns up, you know, everyone hates Murphy, don't they? Get those little issues happening, problems with stuff. Not suggesting that you should turn to violence, but in the old days they had a Murphy stick so that you know, issues occurred. The old stick came out, and then with the correct wielding, Murphy would go away.
I bet.
Because sometimes removal of the instance of frustration creates relief. Not necessarily have to be directed to you know, animated or inanimated object, but yeah, as long as just there's a whipping and a wielding in the air, is enough to discourage the Murphyings.
But how much of it have you really paid attention to over in the
wonderful world of America and world
tour?
politics?
Yeah, the tour, the special.
Oh, the special engagement,
tour,
rubbing of the magical ball.
You know, hanging out with some heavies.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're going to do deals. You need to get the deal makers involved, right?
So they. It was a bit of a roadshow, like what? Like was it?
Well, there was definitely
numbers?
Performance. Like there was performance.
Lots of numbers.
Oh,
yeah.
We like our big numbers.
We do like big numbers.
A when the big T's involved, like then we get a little bit. You know, we're interested. We pay attention. Yeah. When the
and
big T,
was it really a big T from the big T? Not really, was it? Not really. Just talking it up.
It was a semi. It wasn't a full T. Like it could have been like extraordinary T, but it was only just like a semi T.
I mean, and
Like when it comes to money, you don't just, a trillion is really not much to jack off to these days. A trillion what's that chump change these days? You want to get beyond that. Those in that special club at the very, very top, the echelon or the cap of the pyramid. Like, $1 trillion is, if you ain't got that and you're not in the club, are you?
Oh, yeah. Really not.
Clearly. Where the eye is, where the true eyes exist. Yeah, we the eyes. Yeah.
Watching.
Wanting.
Waiting.
Justifying.
So, yeah, they need a justification.
Oh.
I mean,
All you need to do is ask. Better to ask.
But not really.
Ask for forgiveness than to, justify the doing. Better to ask forgiveness. Yeah.
it seemed like he's just trying to sort of.
He's trying to level up. It's leveling up.
Like he's getting all people out.
It's Mario hitting that fucking, the red mushroom, mate, and leveling up, getting bigger.
We'll get crutches on instead of being in a wheelchair. Fair enough.
Clutching his way through. That's it.
Just knocking down those turtles. It's going to go stab.
Mate, turtles are always, going to be there. They're always going to be there trying to get milked. But yeah, once you get that T club, man, that's the thing. And I think doing the big P twice is enough to get in the big T club. Like you'd think.
You'd hope so.
So you do the deals and you make the fucking, the shit happen, like I was saying.
Will they make anything happen?
Personally, I think it's going to be same old, because, disillusioned, flip-floppers.
Picking vehicles.
Yeah. You got to realise, man, being one of the princes of Bogan is a difficult scenario, but I deal with it. I do like my figure eights and my donuts, so yeah, Bogan's on the moon, man. That's always been my slogan. You're going to hold me anything, it's Bogan's on the moon. We can do the best donuts. Saturday night, it's a night. We get to riff and laugh because that's all right.
It is a bit.
It is a bit.
I had this weird situation in my head. My head was, as you were talking, was just
you were scenarioing out and seeing Bogans like in a like synchronized dance.
Eating cakes.
Doing like this
eating
huge...
those weird cakes they were, like in a park.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was weird.
I don't mind, cake in the park. I'm not impartial to cake in the park.
Yeah, real sort of gâteau shit too. Chocolate with fucking berries and shit. Like Bogan, real Bogan. Double down.
Max Bogan.
Yeah,
Max
the
Bogan
$10
down,
cake. Not the $5 or $6 cake from Coles, but the $10,
$10,
$12 cake.
Come on, you're upper class, Bogan. Come on.
The other end.
Upper class Bogan can afford
the one
the
that's in the
$10 cake,
fridge,
mate. Yeah.
not on the shelf.
We're the ones driving around the limos with the 4x4 underneath it, mate. That's the kind of, upper class Bogan we're talking about. Yeah, the one with the satellite dish on the back.
That's them.
Go anywhere, mate. We don't just ride on kangaroos down under, mate, okay? Some of us ride in Subarus, not just kangaroos. We're a bit more advanced than most people would give us credit for. We did import a lot of, very, very intellectual IT people recently, so, we're not doing too bad, mate, okay? We've got smart people working for us. And they are enjoying the Australian lifestyle, I've got to tell you. Thoroughly enjoying it. There is much benefit of being a down-underer.
Yeah. Yeah, you get like...
I don't hear bombs going off.
No.
Occasionally I hear firecrackers and people having fun. I don't have to be, assigning combat uniforms to my children so they get to school in the morning. But in some places in Sydney and Melbourne, there's some weird shit going on, and people need to fucking calm the hell down. That's what they need to do.
Calming down is ideal.
Yeah, it is very ideal. Elsewise, return to place of origin. Big boot doesn't need to repeat itself.
That's true.
Because everyone knows how Big Boot works, and Big Boot don't take fucking sorry for an answer. When it says to do something, you do it. Elsewise, Big Boot be stomping. And it's been pretty effective, man. It's knocked out a couple of, things that could have been a lot bigger than they, ended up being. But, yeah. That's why we have Big Boot. Big Boot takes care of all the little boots things that they're concerned with. Because little boot exists. And if little boot all got together, it would be big boot, if you get where I'm going with that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Little boots together all equal big boot. But little boots don't want to do it. So that's why they deploy big boot. But if little boot is not happy with big boot's issues, big boot better be on notice.
I know.
Yeah. Big boot only gets the authority of big boot as long as big boot behaves like big boot. As soon as it strays outside of big boot's authority, little boots all join together and become big boot to kick current big boot out. So as long as big boot does what little boots wants, everyone's happy. Taxes only come from one source, little boot. Little boot hands over all its taxes so big boot can be big boot. Because little boot too busy working to be big boot. But if little boot don't have work and things ain't working, then little boot, like I said, so becomes the big boot.
Buddhists explain us.
Yes, so be it. Understanding of how the big boot works and the little boots work. Hence the reason why the, American boots have a constitution. So it is well within their right to get their little boots together and kick big boot in the fucking balls if necessary. And they did. Little boot voted in America and the T-Man came in and now he's the big boot. And, the big boot can swish, swash and whatever, but if it's not squashing something, then it's not really behaving like a big boot, right? So it's got to give a pretense or show it's squashing things. and then it's effective in its job as a big boot.
Wow. Tripping.
It's Saturday night.
It is.
Everything's all right.
Oh, man.
It is a time for tripping. It's a time for eating. It's a time for loving. It's a time for pointing out all kinds of stuff as we unravel the very fabric of reality itself. Eh?
I'm gonna have a little. I'm gonna have a little food snack to just keep me going for the next topic.
That's it. We've got 15 minutes. I'm going to pick a rando.
I
pick a rando from our list.
The fucking handle on that one. I just passed out. I'll take my pizza plate down. You were talking about
because we did the Schools at War. We've done doing the deals. Not so much
really.
the localization.
No, you didn't actually know much about the deals that I thought you did.
No, well, I'm trying to stay impartial because you know what happens when you observe something. So
you change it.
Outcomes could be changed. So sometimes I observe. Sometimes I like to stay oblivious. It's part of the not God process.
Staying oblivious.
You know, there's no. Well, there's omnipotence, which is the knowing of everything and every outcome, right? And then there's the oblivious, which is the outcome. If you're in charge, well, then you already know the outcome. So why the fuck should I even bother? I'm just going to let it be a surprise, and that's what the oblivious is. It's the element of surprise. It's like, you did the thing. I sort of expected it, but it's still a surprise.
So you let the theatre, you allow the theatre to still have.
You allowed the theatre to play out. Okay.
That's very generous of you.
It is. It's part of the being, the uninformed. The least with plan. The least without plans. That's right. It's so much more enjoyable when you don't know, when you haven't already read the script. Okay, It is. Like if you appreciate anything, if you want to go and see something, in the movies, go and see in the movies before you read the book.
But then you get into the outrage and surprise.
No. Well, you watch the book, watch the movie, you experience the movie for what it is, and then you go and read the book, and you get the expanded version of the imagination part.
I see.
Rather than just someone else's imagination being projected on a screen. So you get the visual interpretation, and then you can critique the visual from the actual book by reading it. Okay, because then your imagination being so much more better and being able to paint such a far more vivid picture of the story being portrayed.
So be ignorant, be surprised. Because you watch it unfold. And then after that, when they release the novel, that's when you really say, I fucked up.
Yeah, because you get all the detail. And you go, well, hang on, I assume because of this and this, and in the visual thing, that was the case. But here in the background, we got the thoughts of all the actual actors and what was going on. And mate, eh?
So I fucked up because I read the novel first.
Chalk and cheese. Yeah, you did. You read the novel
first.
Totally. Well, you know what's going to happen. It's almost like Rocky Horror Picture Show where you know all the songs and everything and you're singing along. Like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing it for? Just because I wanted to be included. I knew everything, but I really wanted to be included. What a perspective! Like that is like, in any story, like what is that in the It's not the protagonist. It's not the hero. What is it? It's like the extra. It's like the director playing a bit part. The actual director of the movie coming in as the guy that sucks the toes of the snake woman or something like that. You know what I mean?
Just because he thought she was cute.
Yeah. Well, he had a foot fetish, man. He wanted to come in and suck her feet because his whole life, since he was fucking masturbating from 11 years old. Was to suck on them feet of that particular actress. Yeah.
Finally, he got to pay the money so he could.
Yeah. Well, he got to a position where he could fucking demand it, put it in the script.
That's it.
Give me them feet, bitch.
And then show it to everyone in front of the world.
Yeah.
Then you get your little fetish going.
Well, she got paid good money for it, mate. Good money.
You got a hand on it.
You would let someone suck your feet. And maybe she got a little bit of kink out of it herself, like you dirty fucker. You suck those fucking feet, you dirty cunt. Everyone pleased. Paid well. One got their kink, the other got their their dominatrix,
kink A,
tick on
B.
Queen B, tick on the fucking little dominatrix fucking matrix. Fill in all the blanks, how to humiliate men, good ways to, humiliate and, revert men back to bitches again,
Well,
give them back their clitoris.
Special givings.
Yeah.
And they can be all the things.
True. Transformation through humiliation.
Wow.
There you go. So there's your
shrinks down.
There's your kicker line for the
just
whole
shrinks you right down.
The Catholicism, pay for your sins on the way through.
Oh.
Mate, what a money spinner.
Oh.
Yeah. Always guilty. Forever
it's the
guilty.
original cuckold, isn't it?
It is. It's a total cock.
You've got to watch as the priest does your wife and your children.
Yes. And then you pay for the sin of being a fucking pervert and watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pay a tithe for watching, someone portray a perverted at acting for only a
Yeah.
double bonus. Pay on the way in, pay on the way out.
I wonder how much, what the relationship would be between, say, domestic violence and sort of, and the church, and sort of basically sort of men like taking out like on their families because they're basically
The crippling debt of having to support the church.
No, like they couldn't sort of
handing over the third or whatever it is.
They had to watch. They had to watch this thing happen to their kids.
Well, that'd be exactly the same as being the poor, the groom on his fucking night before the king comes in and does the old prima nocta. Imagine sitting there and having to watch it.
I wonder in that
As
era,
part of the
especially
practice,
that particular era, like the sort of the real spread, because it sort of spreads out. Like maybe you weren't one of those families, but then maybe.
Well, maybe you were one of the lucky ones around, further in the slop where the king didn't visit. Only visited very rarely because you got tired fucking riding a horseback for 14 hours.
But what happens is that
to fucking sodomise your daughters and your granddaughters in the back shed.
Down. That's the transfer of the suffering starts to begin. So
well, maybe you just subbed it out. Like you'd have lords. That's the reason why you set up the whole lords and shit. So you can just sub out the suffering.
If you're in a family where the rapey happens, and then you might spread it on. That's what I'm trying to say. Like even if you're not the king or the lord, then you might take it out
one of the subjects. Yeah,
you might take it out
those
on like
subjected to fucking all sorts of
work of the girl, the something else, like the neighbour's kid, like whatever, like who wasn't in the thing, like. And so even though it starts from there, within a generation or two, then like the people who have suffered it have been doing it to other people.
Well, again, like I said, it's all reflective. Like you're only going to reflect what you're receiving in your life. You know what I mean? Like if you receive suffering, that's all you're going to reflect, isn't it?
We can do. Yeah, fucking nice.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
And nothing anybody else is going to say or do, especially when it comes to people like that are continuing to just thrive off their own suffering and the suffering of others around them. There's nothing you can do and say that will ever pull them out of that cycle.
No.
Like they've become so addicted to that endorphin, brain fuck that they've put themselves in that there is nothing you can do. That's where that whole, you can help up until a certain point. But then when there's no way of rescuing, you've just got to say bye.
Yeah.
No, I can't help you. You know what I mean? Like it's over. Like whatever you're looking for, I can't help you with it. To achieve what you need to achieve is way outside of my level of expertise.
Well, you can't help the chain of abuse in a way.
Yeah. Well, it's impossible to crack. That's it. Because sometimes you can get in there, and if the chains aren't that tight or that thick, you can tap them a few times. And if they're only really weak, then maybe it might go. Oh, hang on, I don't have to be doing this. That's right.
Yeah, but then
there are other options than just my fear-based stuck in a loop. Yeah, I can make other choices. Breaking the cycle. That's what it's about. Like, if the cycle itself isn't productive or beneficial, then it shouldn't be repeated.
That's it. Ending the cycle.
Yeah.
Not repeating. Complete. Like just in fun. Yeah. Taking it to the grave.
And especially if you're aware and you can see it error every time you do it. Like it
behooves.
What is it? The outcome has a similar experience, and the similar experience is always a negative one. Then why would you want to repeat it?
Oh, fuck. I mean, there are reasons why people would, but sure. No, I know what you mean, obviously.
Because they enjoy suffering? Would that be the core experience of repeating something which is foolish?
No, like if every time like you get beat on, then you like get hugged at the end of it and told that you're loved. Like, sorry.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you.
But when they start, when your young mind or whatever mind comes to terms with the repetitiveness of it, like wouldn't you just go, oh, hang on, something's not right here. Like, I don't like the suffering. I mean, even though there's comfort afterwards, why am I getting the suffering to get the comfort? What is the factor in between that? Is it the guilt that is giving the comfort afterwards? Is it pure guilt-ridden because, the punishment that was delivered was for gratification rather than for a lesson?
Gratification.
Most times.
Pleasures, little whippings.
Terrible cycle, man.
The sting that tingles, that keeps them tingling. Yeah, just builds up in a little crescendo of tingles.
What's the tapping? Like you said, the rotating and the rubbing first. The tapping, right? The tapping, the tap, tap, tap. Yeah. And then the whack. Don't just go straight to whack. Rubbing, tapping, whack. It's a build-up, Yep.
It
makes a song complete, right?
Yeah, like it would be I would suggest, like, actually on that level, like, you'd have to be pretty sort of, I don't know, would it be beyond just arousal, wouldn't it? Like, to actually be there, like, stand there, and then
you become the
someone
conductor.
taps on it, and then spanks it with the freaking with the whip, and you're like standing there all like still bone and like, I can do anything.
Push him through the pain. That's it.
Well, would it be? I wonder what it would be.
Skin tingling with after the the leather released itself and revealed the welts.
And so it's still like strongly standing there, like 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 you breathe, like what are you doing?
Sucking it up, sucking up the pain.
Yes,
sucking up the pain, mate. Yeah, that's it.
They get washed through your body, like transmuted. Do you think they transmute it? Do you think that's
pulsating?
Or they like
pulsating from the point of injury. That's it.
You're really able to feel their body. We're going into the sense of it.
Hooking up to the old squid relay.
It sort of wasn't like, it was a bit bored, it got a bit sort of like oversaturated with like drugs and friggin' everything else. It just sort of like did a little,
moments of
assistance.
Get a moment of clarity.
Clarity. That's it. Spanked on the
focused into
the
that
hood
point
ornament.
of pain. Yeah.
The old whip going. I don't know. It would surprise. Like, I mean, I don't know. I've taken like
even the making the sound, like, it makes people nervous, even though it's not commonly dispensed these days. In 2025.
No, you don't get much.
Making the noise gets attention, doesn't it?
It does.
Like the whipping noise. Don't even have to crack one. You just make that the meme noise, as they call it.
Just meme. Just inject
the meme noise with your mouth.
Yeah, totally.
Don't even need a sound effect.
Oh, like a board. You can just mouth it, get mouthy with it.
Yeah, well, that's it, man. Everyone's a Winslow, at heart, They've all got their special sound effects, things that they can make. Added sounds to, modern life. Everyone wants to be a cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Hero X.
Wow.
Going hard, man. I'm loving the new series, Hero X.
Yeah. So you're up to the second story arc?
Yeah.
Yeah, fully. Hey, it's trippy.
Tripping shit, man.
And you're just like, oh, yeah, right, okay. So, well, okay, nope.
Yep, nope.
Nope, they're dead.
No, very interesting. Popularity gives points. No wonder JC's doing so well.
There he goes.
I definitely want 40k version. I'm not like interested in the peace, love, and mung beans. Like the true image of the the returning should be angry. You'd think, because he did peace, love, mung beans last time, didn't he? Tried to change some stuff, and see, I thought he'd be like an electrician, like if he ever came back. But I think he's probably going to be more of a lawyer. When they say savage tongue, it's like creating justice. Maybe take the blindfold off misjustice and just let us see, hear, and say something about it rather than being impartial. Well, have opinions. Maybe justice needs an opinion rather than being a blind participant. Just a concept, Don't get triggered. It's okay. Arseholes, opinions, we all got them. Yeah.
No. There are some things that people don't got, but generally that's one of them.
These things we have in common. Arseholes and opinions. Yeah. Regardless of what sex you are, unless you're born without an arsehole. And for those people who are listening who don't have an arsehole, I apologise.
That's very, very ableist of us, the ability to,
It's weird.
Do you know that there are some, are there some creatures that like are born without, maybe, is there a creature in...
Does a moth poo? I think moths are like that.
No,
once they go past the caterpillar,
there's a creature that
they lay eggs, but they don't
doesn't have a mouth.
Okay.
And it's like, it's just born, it's a creature in, I heard it was a creature from New Zealand. And it has like a short breeding cycle. Yeah, basically it's got to get the job done and have sex, produce offspring.
Is it some sort of small bit with a big bulbous thing underneath it where it has like a bird sac and then that's all it's got to live on? Something like that.
It's a good question.
Because you think it'd need some sort of cell.
Yeah, it's weird.
To do its thing, it's going to need
well, I think
energy.
it comes out of something. It's like it's an evolution.
Fat sac or something.
It has a thing. Like let me just say.
I'd imagine that would be the configuration. Like if I was a master builder of the things. Here tapping, it's good. There's research going on.
Yeah, so that's when it comes out of its molting. It's a form of mayfly.
Okay.
Well, they're native mayfly. It does not eat non-functional mouth parts in adult form. Does not eat after molt. Lifespan after final molt, only often just a few hours to a couple of days. Primary function of adults' reproduction. They mate, lay eggs, and die shortly after.
What a life cycle.
That's it. It's not technically that they never had a mouth, but that after their final molt, an adult, their mouth parts are vestigial and have no functional purpose. They're not all designed to eat. So they were eating before they were an adult.
Yeah, prior to the transformation. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, can you imagine humans if you got to this point where you were like,
you went to 21 and then suddenly came out of something else. Yeah.
Well, not just that, but like you lived through to 21, you've done all your things, all your angst and everything like that, and then suddenly all your teeth fall out of your head, jaw falls off, and you're just like, and you've got 4 hours to fuck somebody or you die.
Get it on, mate. Get it on, or else you ain't passing no DNA.
Yeah. How would we evolve as a species in that regard? Like it'd be interesting. Like True.
Would you? You'd be watching that clock, wouldn't you? Because you would have seen all the other ones convert prior to, like, as you're growing up, you'd see them all going into that mode, and you'd be like, man, when I get to that mode, I'm gonna be down to the wire, like watching the clock, and the moment my fucking jaw falls off, mate, closest is just getting pounded. All right, that's what's happening.
That's
what's happening.
You'd be pre-planning, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
you'd be mapping it out. You'd be mapping that motherfucker out. You know where the closest couple are.
Well,
because you ain't gonna just pound down one, mate. You got to make sure you pound out a couple in that couple of hours, mate. You know, you want to get at least 3 or 4.
I mean, everyone does.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We should network it. We just basically just be orgy balls. Just like, would you have a species?
Like people just, well, it'd be back to that old, the almost, the superstar OnlyFans.
Yeah,
mate,
and you'd be readying. You'd be readying your young.
Yeah.
They
just come into the actual arena, like ready to go, lining up on all sides of the arena, and they're just coming into this culmination of the giant.
You got to prepare to be the most
snake
fuckable there is. You have to be the most fuckable. Why do I have to be the most fuckable? I want to learn about cats. No, fuckability is all it's about.
What about the rocks? Can we learn about the rocks?
No, you don't understand, Johnny.
You better be ready for the. You better be ready for the countdown.
Fuckable, you got nothing.
They ain't going to even poke a stick at you.
Why does the water move the way it does?
Who cares?
Don't say why. Just say. That's all we've got. That's the.
How damn is progressing your field? Don't you understand? You need to go into training now.
And there'd be like a whole sort of we'd have hierarchy that crap. So there'd be people down below sort of had no chance.
Well, the levels would change. Like you'd be practicing at 5. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be just doing the swapping the best chemicals at 11. You'd be getting the practice on at 5 and earlier because you're 21's your cutoff, mate. And that's not like if you're going to compress things, that's what's going to happen. Things will get compressed. It's the reason why we have the span of up to 100 or between 80 to 120. Because you can get stuff done. You don't have to rush it. Yeah, it still seems short, but more than sufficient. I mean, if you got a 112-year-old woman whinging about but she wished she died when she was fucking 27, imagine that fucking bitch at 900 whinging about being 900 fucking years old, huh? Imagine how much she'd just talk your ear off about the suffering over the last 900 fucking years of existence.
Oh, and then there was that whole fucking pose situation.
It just changes the civilization fucking 7 fucking times. And I'm gonna fucking, I don't care what your fucking flowers and your fucking flag's colour is. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
They asked people like, sign up. You've got to be a citizen. Not again. That's it. When were you born? They give she gives the age, and they're just like looking at her going, what the fuck? You lying bitch, and like, cut her arm off and count the rings, and they're like, oh, holy shit, we were wrong. Sets the arm back on. Yeah. Bit of wood glue.
Yeah, a bit of wood glue. Keep it together. Man, you either want to live that long or you don't, okay? And to that, unfortunate woman who was, whatever it was, 112 years old and still whinging, there was plenty of options while you were getting to 112 years old. You could have just, picked any of those other exit methods and your suffering would have been over. Elsewise, just enjoy it.
I'm going to go to bed soon.
Yeah.
Enjoy the engine, yes.
I don't know. It takes time. It's not instant. If you want it instant, put it in the freezer. It turns into a block. I think we hit our 3 hour 15. There you go. Another extremely insightful and
a few slow bits.
Yeah, we get that. I mean, you've had an exhausting week, so I've been a bit more relaxed. I've done nothing but
good day.
enjoy anime and get shit done for the youngling.
Let's do that.
Oh, we had 4 views while we were doing this.
Talk is talk real cheap, and the rest is